Chapter 25-24. Hearing that, Murong Qingqing heaved a sigh of relief. Xin Jingqiu also said, Granny Qian, you said it yourself. You have to help later. On the other side, Yi Wudao Wuhua and the others' eyes also flickered. Although they also wanted to help, the current situation was simply too complicated. They did not dare to act rashly. However, they also decided that they would definitely help at the critical moment. Humph! Lin Xian snorted coldly. He was going to take out the Black Earth and shoot them a few times. He would kill a few peerless almighties first. However, before he could make a move, Elderly roared from the side. Are you comparing numbers? You're too naive. Buzz! Elderly waved his sleeve and scattered 10,000 rays of light. The surrounding people were surprised because they could see that the 10,000 rays of light were actually hundreds and thousands of beans. Each one of them was like a golden bean floating in the sky. What kind of divine ability was that? Or was it a Dharma treasure? The surrounding people were shocked. They did not know what the other party was doing. The people from the 3 holy lands sneered disdainfully. A mere bean was enough to make them cower? What a joke! They had to kill the other party until not a single one was left alive. However, they were soon stunned. In fact, his expression had even become extremely ugly. The crowd uttered cries of astonishment. Heavens! What kind of divine ability was that? Everyone was stupefied because the golden bean was trembling in the sky. Then, they suddenly enlarged and turned into many figures. The world trembled rapidly, and the void cracked, unable to withstand the energy. 1, 2, 3, hundreds and thousands of figures appeared in the sky. As soon as these people appeared, they roared in the void. The energy, sound waves, caused the blood of the surrounding people to churn. The surrounding martial artists retreated. The elders of the Holy Lands stared at the scene in front of them. They sucked in a breath of cold air because the figures that appeared in front of them were truly too strange. They looked like humans, but their lower bodies were the tails of snakes. They held long sabers, spears, and spears in their hands. Terrifying killing, intent swept in all directions. What was that? Puppet mechanisms? The martial artists discussed animatedly. The people from the 3 holy lands were also stunned. One of the young men sneered. They were just puppets. How could they compete with us? He was really courting death. He rushed forward, wanting to kill those puppets. He was a genius of the 9 firmaments, sacred emperor. No matter how strong the puppet was, how could it be compared to them? Kill! With a furious roar, light filled the sky and turned into a silver arc that slashed forward. The void was instantly sliced in half. From this, one could imagine how terrifying that attack was. Clang! Among them, a figure with a human body and a snake tail stabbed out with a spear. Bang! It collided with the silver light and made a clanging sound. The heavens fell, and the earth cracked as thunder rumbled. The silver light was shattered, and the bronze spear pierced through the void, smashing into the body of the genius from the 9 heavens' holy ground. What? Everyone was stunned by this scene. Especially the people of 9 firmaments, Saint Emperor. They screamed like crazy. The expressions of the others turned ugly. What kind of puppet was this? This was too terrifying. The one who had attacked was a young prodigy. Although he was not as strong as the saint, he was still an extremely powerful almighty. However, he was actually unable to contend against his opponent's spear. The level of these puppets was too terrifying. If there was an army of puppets like this, no one would be able to resist it. However, they had never heard of anyone who had such a terrifying puppet technique. No, damn it, impossible. The people of 9 firmaments, sacred emperor roared. At this moment, an elder of the Yi family narrowed his eyes. This was not a puppet technique. This was magic bean soldiers. What? Magic beans, soldiers. As soon as these words came out, everyone was stunned. A few elders who were like living fossils trembled in fear. Magic bean soldiers. Could this be the legendary superpower? Rumor had it that this was an immortal technique. How could these people? Immortal technique. Everyone trembled. Anything related to immortals was definitely the most mysterious and powerful. How could these people from Immortal Palace have such a strange superpower? Could it be that they were really related to immortals? They did not know. Their faces turned pale. Now, they finally understood why Immortal Palace dared to go against the three Holy Lands. With this superpower of magic bean soldiers, they could instantly gather thousands of experts. They could definitely go against the three Holy Lands. Damn it! The people of the three Holy Lands roared in anger. They were also stunned by the other party's move. For a moment, they did not attack. Instead, they stood there in bewilderment. Immortal Palace's people all heaved a sigh of relief. They cheered and sneered. Lin Xian was also stunned. He did not know that Immortal Palace had such a superpower. It seemed that Immortal Palace was even more mysterious and powerful than he had imagined. He knew that although he was now the Palace Master, the Immortal Palace he had come into contact with was probably only the most superficial things. The real core was probably still in the hands of the old Palace Master. As for Immortal Palace's true strength and foundation, he did not know what level it had reached. Perhaps other than Xiajiao, no one else knew. So are we still going to fight? The corners of his mouth curled up as he asked indifferently. The Crimson Dragon sneered again and again. Were the three Holy Lands that strong? Come and attack together. Let's hurt each other. With this superpower and so many powerful puppets, they definitely did not fear the three Holy Lands. Therefore, Immortal Palace's side was full of confidence. In particular, the Crimson Dragon pointed at these people and cursed. Others were embarrassed to curse, but he couldn't care less. Come, come, come. Grandsons of the three Holy Lands, fight 300 rounds with Ben Huang. Ben Huang will definitely roast each and every one of you into golden roasted meat. That damned snake. You're courting death. Kill him. You must kill them. Humph. So what if they have superpowers? They're just high-level puppets. Do they really think they're immortal arts? That's right. How can puppets be compared to us? They were truly driven mad, and once again they charged over. In an instant, the two sides fought. Boom, boom, boom. The people of the three Holy Lands rushed up. When Elder Li saw this, he snorted coldly and formed a seal with his palm. Boom! At the front, thousands of humanoid puppets wielded weapons and let out a roar. They wore bronze armor, and runes lit up and flickered incomparably. They turned into a green wave and surged forward. Bang, bang, bang. The attacks of thousands of top-notch puppets were incomparably powerful. They collided with the three Holy Lands. Immediately, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. Boundless energy swept in all directions. The surrounding martial artists all retreated, not daring to be affected at all. Bang, bang, bang. The surging green wave was like a heavenly blade that slashed at the people of the three Holy Lands. Puff! Those young martial artists vomited large mouthfuls of blood and were sent flying with miserable screams. There was nothing they could do. The elders could resist, but their strength was not enough. They were sent flying in an instant. In fact, many of them turned into blood and scattered in the void. Chapter 25. Many martial artists from the sacred lands were turned into blood and scattered across the void. The scene was extremely tragic. Ah, damn it. Seeing this scene, the powerhouses of the three sacred lands roared crazily, "Use your trump cards!" They once again used the Immortal Palace, Lightning Pool, and 5-element flags to kill these top-notch puppets. Humph. Elder Li snorted coldly and formed a seal with his palm again. Thousands of top-notch puppets roared. The runes on their bodies flickered quickly and circled continuously, forming a huge phantom in the sky. This phantom also had a human body and a snake tail. It held a desolate ancient artifact in its hand and emitted a desolate aura as if it had crossed time and space. Is this a half-demon? Many young disciples were puzzled. The living fossils trembled. Don't talk nonsense. That's a totem. Legend has it that countless years ago, the ancestors of the human race had a human body and a snake tail. This immortal palace is too terrifying and mysterious. I'm afraid they're even more terrifying than we imagined. What? Totem? The surrounding people were stunned. The eyes of the Yi family, Jade Lake's sacred lands, Dao One sacred lands, and other powerful sacred lands flickered. The elders of the imperial dynasties also had solemn expressions. In Murong Qingqing, Shen Jingqiu heaved a sigh of relief. Their expressions softened, and they even smiled. That's great. The more powerful immortal palace is, the safer Lin Xian will be. They were also more at ease. However, the elders behind them were completely stunned. Previously, they had planned to save the other party's life in a critical moment. But now, it seemed that there was no need for that. The other party's foundation was beyond their imagination. In the sky, the huge totem emitted a desolate aura and quickly pressed down. It collided with the trump cards of the 3 sacred lands. An even more intense explosion sounded as if the world was about to be destroyed. At this moment, all the martial artists of the sacred lands activated their armor and defenses to resist. They were like small boats swaying in the wind. Boom! 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 Suddenly, an even more terrifying murderous aura appeared in the violent energy. 7 beams of light pierced through the entire space like pillars. They tore apart the storm that filled the sky. Damn it, what happened? Could it be that Immortal Palace used another trump card? The surrounding people were terrified. They all trembled and could not help but want to kneel down. This power was too strong. Even the Immortal Palace, the lightning pool, and the 5 elements banners in the sky were trembling nonstop. How could this be? How could they possess such powerful strength? The expressions of the people from the 3 holy lands changed. Could it be that it was the pressure of a saint again? They thought that Lin Xian had unraveled the saint's hand bone and produced this power. Immortal Palace's side was similarly shocked. This was because Lin Xian did not use the saint's hand bone. He looked around and found that other than Elder Li's bean soldiers, no one else had used any other terrifying trump cards. Then what was with this terrifying aura? Elder Li also noticed this point, and his expression was uncertain. Elder Li, don't do anything, Lin Xian said from the side. He had a feeling that there was something wrong with the tomb. Sure enough, Elder Li nodded and withdrew the huge totem in the sky. The 1,000 top-notch puppets quickly retreated and circled around them. It had disappeared. The totem's aura had disappeared. The eyes of the powerful cultivators outside flickered. Whoosh! The light that filled the sky was pierced through. Finally, everyone could see the scene in front of them clearly. What was that? They were stupefied because they discovered that the trembling power that made them feel despair wasn't released by Immortal Palace. It was not released by the 3 Holy Lands either. It was something else. The 3 Holy Lands were also stunned. What exactly was that? Damn it! It was not someone from Immortal Palace. In the space between them and Immortal Palace, 7 streaks of light appeared. To be more precise, they were 7 coffins. 7 bronze coffins appeared on the ground. They emitted a heavy aura. The 7 streaks of murderous aura that connected heaven and earth were released by these 7 bronze coffins. As soon as they appeared, it was as if they were 7 demonic mountains that pressed down on everyone's hearts. It was so heavy that they could not breathe at all. Each of the 7 bronze coffins was incomparably huge, as if they had existed for countless years. From the sky, they looked like the 7 stars of the Big Dipper. In fact, there are stars engraved on the 7 bronze coffins. Big Dipper coffin. Everyone swallowed their saliva crazily. They were facing a great enemy with the sudden appearance of the bronze coffin. Whose coffin was that? Who was buried inside? Why would it appear at this time? Could it be that they had encountered some kind of restriction when they were fighting earlier? Would it be dangerous for them after it appeared? They had no idea. Boom! Boom! Crack! While they were still in shock, one of the bronze coffins suddenly began to tremble. Damn it! What happened? Could it be that it was going to turn into a corpse? Everyone was terrified. No, they had to stop it. They were too terrified because the corpses and heads they had discovered so far were at least invincible kings. Moreover, the Een soldiers from before had also left a huge shadow on them. Therefore, they did not allow the bronze coffin to revive. They did not allow the things inside to come out. In an instant, countless people unleashed formation after formation to seal the coffin. They flew down, wanting to completely seal the coffin. Boom! The people from 5 Elements Palace were the closest. They were the first to set up the 5 Elements Great Seal. Buzz! Buzz! 5 mysterious runes floated down and enveloped the bronze coffin. Phew! Everyone heaved a sigh of relief. Bang! Damn it! Not good! They cried out in alarm again because they discovered something. The 5 Elements Great Seal. It was shattered in an instant. Above the bronze coffin, a flickering star. It directly broke through the 5 Elements Great Seal. The bronze coffin trembled even more violently. Ice whirled. A delicate shout sounded, and countless ice spread out. Immediately, the trembling bronze coffin was sealed in ice. Not only it, but the surrounding space was covered in snow, turning into a world of ice and snow. An elder from Moon Palace made a move. However, everyone did not relax and still looked over. Sure enough, in the next moment, the world of ice and snow melted quickly, turning into countless puddles of water that sank into the ground and disappeared. The bronze coffin was still trembling more and more violently. Don't hesitate, hurry up and make a move, the Yi family elder said coldly. The people from Wavering Light, Sacred Land, also shouted coldly. In an instant, everyone in the surroundings made a move. The sky full of light condensed, trying to seal the bronze coffin below. However, before they could make a move, the bronze coffin in front of them cracked open. Damn it! It opened. Everyone trembled and almost fell from the sky. They did not expect the coffin to open so suddenly. Could it be that the corpses inside had mutated? These people had skin and hair. Chapter 25-26. Whoosh! When the bronze coffin was halfway open, a pale hand grabbed the edge. Then a figure sat up. Crack! Crack! The purple figure walked out of the coffin and floated in the air. What's that? Everyone was stunned. They finally got a clear look at the figure. To be exact, it wasn't a human. It was very strange. It was very similar to the puppet from before. It had a human body, but its body was covered in scales. There was a tail behind it that looked like a snake's tail. However, it had a different tail. The snake's tail was very smooth, but the tail was covered with poisonous thorns. As it swayed, it easily shattered the void. Monster beast. Everyone was shocked. They didn't expect that the thing that came out of the bronze coffin was not a human, but a monster beast. What was going on? Everyone was stunned. They had encountered all kinds of strange things before. They had even encountered the heads of 99 invincible kings. However, those people from before were all humans. They didn't look like monsters at all. However, one of the Big Dipper coffins that appeared now was a monster beast. What was going on? Were the other 6 demonic beasts as well? They didn't know. They couldn't fight against one of them. That was because the monster with purple scales and a purple tail in front of them was floating in the air. 2 white flames suddenly appeared in its eye sockets. Attack! Boom! 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 Countless powerhouses attacked, turning into a sky full of energy that slashed at the fist technique. In an instant, the purple figure was shrouded. Light exploded. Sword chi and saber light flashed. The space in front of them exploded in an instant, turning into nothingness. This is great. Was it destroyed? Everyone heaved a sigh of relief. Although the other party had come out, it definitely couldn't withstand the attacks of so many people. Gulp! Gulp! Suddenly, a purple light appeared in the sky. It was like a heavenly saber that cut the sky open. Boom! The energy was also cut open. A pair of purple hands destroyed everything. A purple silhouette walked out from within. Whoosh! Whoosh! It wasn't injured. How was that possible? Damn it, was it still human? What level had this corpse reached? Everyone was stunned. The purple monstrous beast didn't receive any damage at all. What was even more frightening was that a few large purple mouths grew out of the other party's body, rapidly absorbing the surrounding energy as though they were enjoying delicious food. Not good, he was going to attack. Boom! The purple palm blotted out the sky and covered the earth as it slammed toward them. It was as if 100,000 mountains were pressing down on them. With a loud rumble, many people were forced back, and the violent energy in the sky was also torn apart. Damn it! He was actually so powerful. From the looks of it, his strength had surpassed that of a peerless almighty. These people were terrified. They didn't expect the other party to be so powerful. Furthermore, from the looks of it, the corpse that had been dead for tens of thousands of years had mutated and come back to life. Foolish humans! How dare you trespass into the tomb of the demon race's saint? All of you must die! A cold and emotionless voice reverberated between heaven and earth. Ancient tomb of a demon saint? What? How could this be? How could he be a saint of the demon race? This is clearly the tomb of our human race's saint. All the martial artists from the Holy Lands and great sects were stunned. Lin Xian also frowned, because from the previous signs, all of the methods belonged to the human race. Whether it was those Tao patterns or the treasures, all of the 99 heads belonged to the human race. This was obviously the tomb of the human race's saint. But now, the Big Dipper coffin had appeared, and the corpse inside had come back to life. It actually claimed that this was the tomb of the demon race. Impossible. What was going on? Everyone was dumbfounded. Moreover, more people were puzzled. This corpse had been here for tens of thousands of years. How could it come back to life? That was too abnormal. They didn't know the reason, but when they thought about it, it was similar to the Een soldiers. It wasn't a true resurrection. The one that came out of the bronze coffin was already so powerful. If the other 6 bronze coffins came out, wouldn't they be able to defeat everyone? No, they had to kill him quickly and stop him. Why don't we run away? All kinds of discussions could be heard. Many people's eyes flickered as they stared at the bronze coffin. They didn't know what was inside the bronze coffin. They felt that there was a need to investigate. Behind them, the people of the Demon King Palace were overjoyed. That was great. Finally, someone from the demon race appeared. I told you, this is the tomb of our demon race's saint. Those despicable humans didn't believe me. Now they know how powerful we are. What should we do now? Should we go up and meet up with the powerful corpse and kill these humans together? An expert voiced his opinion. However, Yen Ryu shook his head. Do you want to be the target of public criticism? Do you think you can exterminate all humans? If one of them goes out, all the holy lands and major sects in the world will attack the Demon King Palace. Do you think the Demon King Palace can survive? If the Saint Physique dies here, I'm afraid the Yi family outside will bring extreme weapons to attack. Hearing about extreme weapons, the experts of the Demon King Palace trembled, and a trace of fear appeared in their eyes. What should we do? The others asked. Hua Tiandu's eyes flickered. We can stay here and watch. Let them kill each other. The people of the Demon King Palace didn't move forward. Instead, they retreated to a corner. At this moment, no one paid attention to them. After all, All the Holy Land's warriors were staring at the purple figure in front of them as if they were facing a great enemy. The people in front of them were also discussing. Let's fight. We have to get rid of this demonic beast. Otherwise, we won't be able to move forward. 5 elements palace, 9 heavens holy ground, and 1,000 thunder saints people were gloomy. They wanted to take revenge, but they didn't expect this to happen. They gritted their teeth and stared at Lin Xian. Lin Xian snorted. Why? Do you still want to fight? I don't mind playing with you guys. As he spoke, the top-grade puppets around him flickered with mysterious runes and formed a powerful force that intimidated everyone. Damn it, Brat, just you wait. I won't let you guys off. The people of the 3 holy lands gritted their teeth and didn't continue to attack. Compared to Lin Xian, the purple demonic beast in front of them was a bigger threat. Humph! Lin Xian sneered. Elder Li waved his hand and kept the top-grade puppets. These were trump cards that couldn't be used for too long. He would only use them in times of danger. Seeing this scene, the 4 symbols Holy Lands, the Yin-Yang sect, the Toba family, and the others all had gloomy expressions. Originally, they wanted to let the other party take the lead and use these puppets to kill the purple demonic beast. They wanted to exhaust the Immortal Palace's trump cards. However, they didn't expect the people of the Immortal Palace to be so decisive and put away their trump cards in an instant. Humph! A young expert from the Toba family didn't give up and snorted. Fellow cultivator, why did you put them away? These top-grade puppets don't have life and can't feel pain. Moreover, they are very strong. They are the most suitable to deal with the purple demonic beast. Chapter 25-27. As soon as these words came out, everyone turned their heads to look. The faces of the people from Immortal Palace changed. Lin Xian snorted coldly, flicked his finger, and a sword wave flew out, directly killing the young powerhouse who spoke. Damn it! What are you doing? The people of the Tuoba family roared crazily. They didn't expect that the other party would dare to attack them. Moreover, it was a fatal blow right from the start. They couldn't react at all. Give me a reason to protect you? Lin Xian asked coldly. Hearing this, everyone fell silent and didn't speak. That's right, when Immortal Palace was besieged and killed, they didn't go forward to help. Now, they wanted the other party to protect them? How was that possible? Damn it, we're all humans. Now that we're facing the demon race, we naturally have to unite against a common enemy. The people of the Tuoba family wanted to use righteousness and reason to suppress the other party. After Lin Xian heard this, he sneered disdainfully. Are you all humans? In my eyes, you're not humans. You're just a bunch of animals. What qualifications do you have to say that you're all humans? You. The people of the Tuoba family were so angry that they vomited blood. They were a dignified family of spirit seekers, dominating a region. When the major Holy Lands saw them, they had to be polite. But now, someone actually scolded them in public. How could they endure this? They must kill them. This kid was too arrogant. Damn kid, kneel down and kowtow. Countless angry roars sounded. Lin Xian's body erupted with endless sword light. If you want to die, I can fulfill your wish. As soon as the sword light appeared, it swept through the 9 heavens and 10 earths, causing everyone's scalp to go numb. Damn it! His strength had become stronger again. This sword chi was so terrifying. No wonder he could kill the 3 saints. His strength was much stronger than before. Could it be that this kid had also broken through? Exclamations sounded one after another. At this moment, the Alcade saints' eyes flickered. Zhongzhou twin kings' faces were ferocious. Yi Wudao smiled. As expected of Brother Lin, he didn't let him down. Wu Hua also chanted Amitabha, and the corners of his mouth raised into a smile. Both he and Lin Xian had obtained a small bronze cauldron. Inside the small cauldron, he had obtained a great opportunity. Come to think of it, Lin Xian should be the same. Stupid humans, even now you're still killing each other. Go to hell." The Purple Monster King's cold voice resounded once more. His palms blotted out the sky and covered the earth, sweeping in all directions. From the looks of it, he should be a protector, protecting the peace of this ancient tomb and hunting down all outsiders. Dodge quickly. Seeing this attack, the Holy Land martial artists were so scared that their scalps went numb. They fled like crazy. Pum! The void cracked open, and a huge black hole appeared. Boundless energy surged and swept out in all directions. Many people vomited blood and were sent flying. Boom! However, the experts from the various holy lands also made their moves. Leaf Daudenier roared, and golden light erupted from him, making him look like a golden sun. Then he thrust his hand out, unleashing a massive sealing mark. Whom! On the Alcade Saint's body, phantoms of gods and demons filled the sky. Above his head, a ball of holy light condensed and flew out quickly. Kill! The middle ground twin kings roared. Demonic chi and Buddhist light flickered. It was strange and terrifying. Apart from them, the other saints and saintesses all made their moves. The young disciples weren't the only ones. The powerful elders and living fossils were also making their moves. Wang, Lin Xian circled around him. Under his control, the 5 forms of sword chi also flew forward. Flying flower. Murong Qingcheng waved his hand, and petals filled the sky, forming a huge light blade that slashed down from the sky. Purple chi from the east. Xin Jingqiu's face was cold, and her jade-like hands kept waving. Purple chi floated in the sky, carrying with it a supreme divine might. When these people attacked together, it was truly terrifying. Nothing could resist them. No matter how powerful the Purple Monster King was, he was still forced back. That's great. He was not invincible. Seeing this scene, everyone was overjoyed and their confidence increased. If they joined forces, they might be able to kill him. Roar! The Purple Monster King was forced back, and he was mad with anger. White flames flickered in his eyes, and an incomparably mysterious power erupted from his body, sweeping in all directions. The attacks from the elites of the various sacred lands were all sent flying or disappeared into the black hole. Quickly, form a formation. These elders and saints might be able to withstand such a violent attack, but those young warriors simply couldn't withstand it. Many of them were directly blasted to pieces. Therefore, the elders hurriedly asked the young disciples to form a powerful formation to resist. As expected, the foundations of the various sacred lands were terrifying. The young disciples formed formation, and its power multiplied. It could resist the energy attacks that filled the sky. Damn humans, you have angered me. I will kill all of you. The Purple Monster King's voice was cold. Wang, his body expanded, and he turned into a peerless monster king that was as big as a purple mountain. The power in his body suddenly erupted. Mysterious runes appeared on his body one after another, and they were incomparably flickering. Dao patterns. Those were Dao patterns. Damn it. He had been refined. The elders of the Yi family, the Gu family, and the other clan of the ancients screamed. The elites of the various imperial dynasties also narrowed their eyes. Not good. Retreat. They retreated crazily. However, it was too late. A purple fist tore through the void. Terrifying energy rushed toward Lin Xian and the others. Lin Xian and the others felt a great sense of danger. The sky was filled with sword chi. He frantically activated the great dragon sword soul, and it exploded to the extreme. Lin Xian's defense was not the strongest, but his attack power was strong. He used offense as defense and destroyed all the energy that rushed toward him. He dodged the fatal attack, but the aftershock of the energy still knocked him back. His blood boiled. The people of the Immortal Palace were safe because the 3 elders had used their trump cards. The other saints and experts also displayed their trump cards one after another. The replica dragon pattern cauldron and the golden sword all flew out. On Murong Qingqing's side, a huge lotus flower wrapped around them. On Shan Jingqiu's side, countless purple clouds surrounded her, making her look like a fairy. Although these people also used their trump cards, they were all knocked back. Their attacks were also shattered. Although their lives were not in danger, many of them still vomited large mouthfuls of blood. The formation formed by the young disciples was torn into pieces in an instant. Many of them were directly blasted into a bloody mist by the punch. Damn it, how could he be so strong? Those who were still alive were extremely terrified. The elders' faces were gloomy. Lin Xian also frowned and asked, "Are you saying that the light flickering on the body of the lecherous Demon King is Tao patterns? Could it be that he is a saint?" He was too shocked. He now knew that Tao patterns could only be formed by saints. Those below saints could not form them at all. They could only observe. However, Tao patterns appeared on the body of the purple Demon King, and there was more than one. There were 8 densely packed Tao patterns. Chapter 25-28. This was too terrifying. If this was really the corpse of a saint, then none of them would be able to stop it. It was better to think of a way to escape as soon as possible. No, that was not it. Palace Master, this was not the corpse of a saint. The Tao patterns on his body were probably engraved by someone else. Engraved? Who had such great strength? Lin Xian was shocked. Suddenly his pupils constricted. You mean a saint engraved it? Why would a saint engrave Tao patterns on this Demon King? Was it just to protect it? That's right, it should be to protect it, Elderly said. With such a powerful corpse guarding it, even if an invincible king came, he probably wouldn't be able to steal the last thing. Could it be that there was some shocking treasure in the saint's ancient tomb? Xing Tian frowned. The crimson dragon's eyes lit up. Do you think it could be the saint's inheritance? Hearing this, everyone's hearts beat wildly. The saint's inheritance. That was the essence of the saint's lifelong learning. If no accidents happened, anyone who could obtain it would be able to grow into an invincible king. Or, if they were lucky, they might become the next saint. This made everyone's heart beat faster. It was much more precious than any heavenly treasure or earthly treasure. But soon he smiled bitterly. Even if there was really the saint's inheritance, so what? With the current situation, they couldn't resist at all. Moreover, this was only one of the bronze coffins. If all 6 of them came out together, no one would be able to resist. Now, they should think about how to escape. Not only Lin Xian and the others guessed so, but the other Sacred Lands martial artists were also discussing. They also guessed that there was a possibility that there was the saint's inheritance. The people of the Demon King Palace in the distance were even more excited. They were the most suitable to cultivate the demon saint's inheritance. After all, although they were half demons, the blood of the demons flowed in their bodies. Some of them were even mutants. The demon saint's tradition was very important to them. If they could get one, there would be a living demon saint in the Demon King Palace. In that case, the strength of the Demon King Palace would undergo an earth-shattering change. No, they must get the last inheritance of this saint's ancient tomb. The people of the Demon King Palace clenched their fists. Hua Tiandu was even more excited. Kill! They must kill him! The various sacred lands discussed. He attacked again. The elders of the Yi family made their move. Leaf Daodenier was even more powerful than Yang Qi, and as he did, a golden domain sprang up around him. Endless golden light enveloped the entire sky. Wang, the wavering light saint, pushed the replica dragon pattern cauldron. The elders of the wavering light holy land behind him pushed together and poured all their energy into the dragon pattern cauldron. Wang. The imitation dragon pattern cauldron kept getting bigger and bigger, crushing the void. The two dragons on it seemed to have come alive. Earth-shattering energy poured down in torrents. The Grand Xia Empire, the prince of the great Xia dynasty, also wielded his golden sword. The sky was filled with golden swords, and they slashed down from the sky. Taishian, Holy Land. A young man stretched out his palm. In the center of his palm, there were 99 stars revolving around. It was extremely mysterious, as if it was a universe. At this moment, everyone was attacking madly. Furthermore, this time around, those people had all used their most powerful trump cards. Elder Wang, Elder Liu, please protect our disciples. The rest of you follow me and attack. Lin Xian instructed. He did not order everyone to attack. He held back because he was afraid that the people of the Five Elements Palace would suddenly assassinate him. With the two elders guarding, the rest of the young disciples retreated to the back. Lin Xian, the Crimson Dragon, Xing Tian, Elderly, and Peacock attacked together. Damned human, go to hell! In front, the Purple Demon King roared. The 8 Tao patterns on its body flickered rapidly. Whoa! The 8 Tao patterns flew out and shone brightly, forming a Tao diagram in the sky. It pressed down. The Tao diagram was extremely hazy, but it was like a millstone that could destroy the world. Everything that collided with it was turned to dust. Nothing could stop it. Slash! The prince of the great Xia dynasty roared. The golden sword slashed down on the Tao diagram, making a clanging sound. Then the golden sword was sent flying. On the imitation dragon pattern cauldron, the 2 dragons roared and turned into 2 dragon shadows that rushed over. They clashed with the Tao diagram, but soon they were also destroyed. Lin Xian's sword Qi collided with it and was also sent flying. Not only that, nothing could stop it. Saber light, sword Qi, spatial power, sea of fire, wind, fire, lightning. In short, all kinds of energy were useless in front of the Tao. Pung, pung, pung. Everyone was sent flying again. Many people vomited blood. Some of their bodies even cracked. A few unlucky elders were hit by the Tao diagram. Their bodies collapsed and could no longer reassemble. How terrifying! A trace of the Tao diagram's energy was enough to kill a peerless powerhouse. Everyone trembled in fear. Lin Xian also retreated. He frowned. The enemy was so strong. Why didn't these people retreat? On the side, Xing Tian explained, "Young master, it's not that simple. The foundations of the various sacred lands are very strong. They probably have many trump cards that they haven't used yet. Not to mention them, Immortal Palace also has many trump cards that we haven't used yet. We haven't used them yet." Lin Xian was shocked. Forget about their Immortal Palace for now. Their Immortal Palace was perfectly preserved. Apart from them, the other weaker ones all withdrew from the battlefield. Therefore, there were no casualties for the time being. However, many of the other sacred lands' geniuses had been killed. Were the sacred lands still not going to use all their trump cards? It had to be said that the sacred lands' sects were really patient. One, just as they were discussing, a green stream of light suddenly streaked through the void in the distance. Everywhere it passed, the void shattered. Everyone looked up frantically. Damn it, what kind of power was that? They all trembled uncontrollably. Even Shen Jingqiu, Murong Qingqing, Yi Wudao, and Wu Hua, who had top bloodlines, were shocked. Whoosh! An earth-shattering sound rang out. The bronze coffin that the purple fiend had crawled out of was broken in half. What was going on? What happened? Everyone was shocked. Why would someone attack the bronze coffin? Could it be that they had found some clues? They were puzzled. The green light flashed in the sky and disappeared. Ah! The purple monster king let out a shrill cry. Damn it! Its power was weakening, and the Tao patterns on its body were quickly dimming, as if they would disappear at any time. What was going on? Seeing this scene, everyone was shocked. Was the purple fiend going to be killed just by breaking the coffin? Could it be that the coffin was the key? Everyone was stunned. Who was so powerful? Even the powerful array masters in their sacred lands did not notice this weakness. The purple fiend was also unwilling. It turned its head, and white flames jumped in its eye sockets as it stared into the distance. Chapter 25-29. Damn it, you're not human. Everyone followed his gaze, their hearts thumping wildly. Demon Imperial Palace. It's the people from Demon Imperial Palace. Oh my god, it's actually Demon Imperial Palace. Everyone came to a realization. The people from Demon Imperial Palace were half demons, and the blood of the demon race flowed in their bodies. No wonder they could find the other party's flaw. However, who was the one who attacked just now? What was that green light? Was it their trump card? These people didn't know. There was also one thing that they were very puzzled about. These people from Demon Imperial Palace said that this was the ancient tomb of a demon saint the moment they entered. At first, they didn't believe it. Now they had doubts. Could it be that Demon Imperial Palace knew more than them? For a moment, everyone looked at Demon Imperial Palace with unfriendly expressions. After all, no matter how powerful the other party was, it was only a sacred ground. There were many sacred grounds here. If they joined forces, they might be able to take down the other party. Humph. Seeing the gazes of the sacred grounds, Hua Tiandu snorted coldly. A purple bead rushed out of his body, emitting a powerful demon chi. The demon chi emitted made the warriors of the sacred grounds frown. Of course, there were also saints who sneered. Wasn't it just a trump card? They had one too. However, soon, these saints were stunned and began to tremble uncontrollably. Beside Hua Tiandu, a beautiful woman walked out. A green light flickered on her body. As soon as the aura of the green light appeared, it seemed to carry a supreme pressure, making people want to kneel down and worship it. Damn it, what kind of aura was this? How could it be so powerful? The expressions of the elders of the sacred grounds also changed drastically, and their faces were filled with fear. Could it be a treasure of a saint? This aura was too terrifying. Moreover, they discovered that it was this green light that directly shattered the bronze coffin earlier. Boom, boom, boom. While the warriors of the sacred grounds were exclaiming, the purple demon king in front also roared angrily. The Tao patterns on his body finally disappeared completely. His body also slowly shrank and finally returned to normal. The white flames in his eye sockets disappeared. His entire body became a corpse again. This is great. It was broken. When the warriors of the sacred grounds saw this scene, they were pleasantly surprised. The people of Demon Imperial Palace also heaved a sigh of relief. They looked at Yan Ryu and were also extremely nervous. To be honest, not to mention those humans, even they didn't know what the cyan light in Yan Ryu's body was. Attack! Take the bronze coffin back, Yan Ryu ordered. Hua Tiandu also coldly shouted. The experts on the Demon King Palace's side all attacked. Not good. Stop them. Although the sacred ground still didn't know what was inside the coffin, they still didn't know. But when he saw the people from the Demon Imperial Palace make a move, those elders also roared in anger and attacked one after another. For a moment, all kinds of light flashed in the sky, fighting until the sky fell and the earth cracked. The bronze coffin below was once again shattered by this violent energy. The huge coffin was shattered into hundreds of pieces and fell apart. Whoosh! One of the experts from the Wind Dynasty, God, took a look and cried out in alarm. Tao pattern. There were Tao patterns carved on it. What? Tao pattern. Could it be that the Tao pattern on the Demon King's body came from the coffin? They had seen how terrifying the Tao pattern was. So now they were frantically attacking. For a moment, everyone was crazily snatching. Whoosh! Lin Xian stretched out his palm, and the azure dragon palm circled and whistled. He directly grabbed 3 pieces and dragged them back. Damn it, put them down. An expert from the Nangong family roared, but he was sent flying by Xing Tian's slap. On the other side, Yi Wu Dao was incomparably powerful and also obtained a few pieces. The prince of the great Xia dynasty Wu Hua and the others also attacked. Murong Qingqing and Shun Jingqiu also obtained a few pieces. In the sky, the number of coffin fragments decreased, and everyone fought even more fiercely. At this moment, the sound of metal trembling rang out and instantly spread throughout the surroundings. These people trembled and almost fell from the sky. They stopped fighting and turned their heads to look down in bewilderment. Below, a bronze coffin was rapidly trembling. Not good. Something was coming out again. Everyone was scared out of their wits. The one that came out previously had already frightened them. It killed many of their disciples. If not for the mysterious woman from the Demon King Palace, their losses would probably be even more serious. Hurry up and attack. Shatter that bronze coffin. They had already guessed that the bronze coffin was the corpse's Achilles heel. As long as they could shatter it, the corpse inside would not be able to revive. Kill. The experts of the sacred lands attacked, and quickly attacked the trembling bronze coffin below. Boom! Boom! After a series of attacks, they were dumbfounded. They discovered that the bronze coffin was intact and there was not a single crack on it. The people from the Demon King Palace also frowned. They attacked, but it was also ineffective. Therefore, they looked at Yan Ryu. Yan Ryu frowned, and the green light on her body bloomed again. She raised her jade-like hand and was about to attack. However, at this moment, a cold voice came from the bronze coffin below. If you attack again, don't blame me for being merciless and killing you. Hearing this voice, Yan Ryu frowned. She lowered her hand and did not attack again. Instead, she turned around and said, "Let's go." She flew straight ahead. Hua Tiandu's eyes flickered as he gritted his teeth and roared, "Follow!" The people from the Demon King Palace left. Although they did not know where the path led, they did not stay there. The cold voice they had heard before was filled with killing intent and a thick, demonic aura that they could not resist. They knew that this was also a powerful Demon King. It was even more terrifying than the previous Demon King. The remaining warriors of the sacred lands were shocked. They did not expect that a voice would come from the bronze coffin before it was opened. Moreover, it scared away the people from the Demon King Palace. This phenomenon was even stranger than before. Could it be that the thing inside was even more terrifying? They gritted their teeth and attacked crazily again. Boom! The bronze coffin below trembled. A wave of power swept out like a heavenly blade, slashing in all directions. It collided with the energy. Reckless humans, all of you can go to hell. Not good. Retreat. It was too powerful. In the sky, the power caused the surrounding warriors to tremble. They retreated crazily. They quickly left. Exclamations sounded one after another. These elders and powerhouses of the sacred lands had made a decision. They let the saints leave with the young disciples. These elders and powerhouses would stay here and fight. Go! Yi Wu Dao shouted coldly and quickly left. In addition to the young Yi family disciples, there were 2 or 3 powerhouses guarding him. As for the rest, they stayed behind. Chapter 2530. Yi Wu Dao led the young disciples of the Yi family into the sky and flew into the distance. Wavering Light Sacred Land, Dao East Sacred Land, Moon Palace, and Taishian Sacred Land. All the sacred lands and sects did the same. Lin Xian did the same. Only Xing Tian remained by Lin Xian's side. The 3 elders remained behind. Big Brother Xian, Big Brother Lin Xian, Murong Qingqing, and Shun Jingqiu also brought people over. They turned into a torrent and rushed into the distance. Boom! As soon as they left, an earth-shattering energy came from behind. The young cultivators who were leaving turned back. They saw a sky full of light that tore through heaven and earth. Even though they were so far away, they still felt a wave of fear and trembling. It was too terrifying. These elders had all used their trump cards. It was incomparably terrifying. Ignorant humans, since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. An even colder voice sounded. A black shadow covered heaven and earth, devouring all the light. Following that, angry roars could be heard. The black shadow continued to devour everything in front of it and seemed to be spreading in all directions. Seeing this scene, the young cultivators felt their scalps go numb. They fled as if they had gone mad. Hurry up and leave. Lin Xian also led the cultivators of Immortal Palace, Morong Qingqing and Qiu. They turned into streams of light and disappeared into the sky. They flew and flew for about half a day. Finally, a light screen appeared in front of them. It was incomparably hazy. The young cultivators who were fleeing all stopped. They looked at the light screen in front of them and frowned. They couldn't pass through it. They were blocked. Damn it! Angry roars rang out one after another. The young cultivators even used their trump cards and charged forward. However, they still couldn't open it. The light screen in front of them flickered with flowing light. There was clearly the power of Tao patterns on it. Perhaps even an invincible king couldn't open it. Damn it, there was no way. What should they do? Should they go back? Or should they wait here for the battle to end? Everyone was discussing. Many of them looked at Yi Wu Dao, Wavering Light Saint, and the others. They wanted to see what these top geniuses could do. Brother Lin, what do you think? Leaf Dao Denier didn't respond. Instead, he looked over at Lin Xian. A golden light appeared in Lin Xian's eyes and surrounded him. Although the hall was huge, it was enveloped by a light screen. There were Dao runes flickering on the light screen. Obviously, there was nowhere to run. He raised his head and looked at the sky. There was a ceiling high up in the sky. The ceiling was decorated with the sun, moon, and stars. It was like the universe. From the looks of it, it was an extremely terrifying formation. Thinking about it, it would be difficult to break it. The ground was also filled with veined patterns. However, Lin Xian frowned. This time, through his heavenly secret divine eyes, he discovered that there seemed to be a tunnel underground. Attack downwards. Lin Xian pointed down and said in a deep voice, "Attack downwards." Everyone was stunned. What kind of joke was this? There were also formation runes below. That's right, even if he could break through the ground. So what? Since there's no path below, why don't I just attack from above? Many people shook their heads, not believing that Lin Xian was right. However, Leaf, Dao Denier, and Flowerless nodded. All right, let's attack from below. We'll help too. Shen Jingqiu and Morong Qingqing also stepped forward. At the same time, they called for the martial artists of their respective sects to attack together. Damn it! How could Leaf Dao Denier and the others trust that kid? The people of Tai Dynasty, Five Elements Palace, Yinyang Sect, and Tuoba family gnashed their teeth. They didn't have a good relationship with Lin Xian, so naturally they didn't want to listen to Lin Xian. However, even Leaf Dao Denier and the others were attacking downwards. It was useless for them to resist. Let's see what's down there. The martial artists of Five Elements Palace, Nine Firmaments Divine Emperor, and Myriad Thunders Sacred Land snorted. They didn't attack because Lin Xian had killed their holy son. Why would they help him at this time? Leaf Dao Denier glanced at them and said coldly, "If you don't want to fight, then scram. This place doesn't raise trash." They were so angry that they vomited blood and trembled. However, there was nothing they could do. Their opponent was a holy body. They couldn't beat him. They could only attack together with dark faces. These young disciples were all geniuses, and they had their holy sons and holy daughters opening the way for them. Damn it, he's too strong. We can't blast it open. These people were shocked. They had so many people and such powerful strength, but they couldn't blast it open. Lin Xian frowned. That's not right. Are they from Demon Imperial Palace? Why aren't they here? He looked around and found that there were still many people from the Holy Lands and sects who hadn't arrived. It seems that they went in a different direction from us. How about this? Let's lure all of them here and gather everyone's strength to blast it open. All right." Hearing this, Leif Daudenier raised his palm, and a golden light burst out and swept in all directions. Sure enough, when the martial artists in other directions saw the scene, they all turned their heads. "That's the Yi family's holy body. What happened? Is there a battle?" "No, it seems to be a signal for summoning. Let's go over and take a look," someone exclaimed. The martial artists in other directions flew in the direction of the golden light. Soon, more and more people gathered. Whoosh! The people from Northern Plains had arrived. The people from Southern Ridge had also arrived. The people from Demon Imperial Palace had also arrived. Everyone exclaimed. Sure enough, in the distance, Huo Tiandu and Yan Ryu led the experts from Demon Imperial Palace and rushed over. Woo ji in the sky. A squeak sounded, and then a beautiful figure descended from the sky. It's Holy Daughter Yao Guang. Everyone exclaimed as they stared at that beautiful face without blinking. The people from Yao Guang Holy Land heaved a sigh of relief. They didn't see the Holy Daughter before and thought that she had also fallen. Now that they saw her, they were naturally relieved. Isn't that Whitey? Shen Jingqiu saw the snow-white monkey in Holy Daughter Yao Guang's arms and immediately exclaimed. Murong Qingqing and Lin Xian also forgot about it. Crimson Dragon, damn, why is this little guy here? Holy Daughter Yao Guang walked forward, wanting to meet up with Holy Son Yao Guang. But at this time, Whitey jumped away from her arms and returned to Lin Xian's shoulder, jumping excitedly. What? Everyone was stunned, and so was Holy Daughter Yao Guang. She turned her head to look at Lin Xian and called out softly, Little guy, come here. However, Whitey ignored her at all. Holy Daughter Yao Guang took out a few more spirit fruits, wanting to attract it over. The junior shook his head. Holy Daughter Yao Guang frowned, and the faces of those who followed her turned black. This guy wants to leave after eating his fill. How can there be such a good thing? Damn monkey, get over here. A martial artist roared, but Holy Daughter Yao Guang waved her hand to stop him. In the next moment, she walked forward with pulsating footsteps. Young master, can you transfer your little monkey to me? I like it very much. A good show is coming. Everyone was excited. Even Holy Son Yao Guang turned his head to look. Lin Xian shook his head and said, I think you are wrong. Whitey is not a pet, he is my partner. Between us, there is no such thing as a transfer of ownership. If he wants to follow you, he will naturally leave me. But now it seems that he still prefers to stay with me. So don't force him. Chapter 25:31. Yao Guang Sanus's eyes lit up. Her face was gloomy. The disciples behind her roared. Damn it! This monkey had eaten so many of their treasures along the way. But now he ignored them? This made them vomit blood. They wanted to attack, but they were stopped by Yao Guang Saintus. Since that's the case, I won't take away your love. Yao Guang Saintus turned and left. That's it. Everyone was surprised. Those from 5 Elements Palace and 9 Heavens, Holy Land, gritted their teeth. They were still hoping that Yao Guang Saintus would fight with them. If that was the case, Yao Guang Saintus and Yao Guang Saintus would be able to kill each other. Of course, this was only their beautiful wish. Yao Guang Saintus wouldn't attack Lin Xian because of a monkey. Everyone, I've called everyone here for an important matter. Yi Wu Dao said in a deep voice. There were Dao runes blocking in all directions. We can't leave. After Brother Lin's investigation, he discovered that there might be another world underground. So, let's attack the ground together. What? There's a way out underground? The newcomers were discussing animatedly. The Demon Imperial Palace's martial artists' eyes lit up. Indeed, they had changed many directions, but they couldn't leave. They also thought of attacking the ceiling, but the array in the sky was even more terrifying. They couldn't leave with their strength alone. No one tried to go to the ground. They didn't expect that the most important thing was still on the ground. This time, the number of people was twice as many as before. Everyone joined forces again, and violent power poured out, bombarding wildly for 2 hours. Finally, a crack appeared on the ground. Great, a crack has appeared. Hurry up and attack. Yi Wudao roared, and the power in his body erupted. Imitation dragon pattern cauldron, golden sword, gods, Buddhas, terrifying saber light, terrifying sword chi, and dragon roar sounded. The crack on the ground became bigger and bigger. Dang! Lin Xian's ancient dragon abyss sword hit it, and the crack became bigger. Spiderweb-like cracks spread in all directions. The last attack was made by Yen Ruyu. Another green light appeared in her body and slashed down. As soon as the azure light appeared, everyone felt their scalps go numb. Even Lin Xian felt his blood churn within his body. The great dragon, Sword Soul, roared uncontrollably. Leaf Dao Denier's blood surged, and everyone looked on in shock. Buzz! The ground beneath their feet completely collapsed, and a huge black hole appeared. Get down! Light blossomed from everyone's bodies. Battle armors appeared, and they all walked down. What is this? After going down, they frowned. Although they had left the vast hall, they found that they had not left the ancient tomb. Below him was still an ancient wall, exuding a desolate aura. Clearly, he had experienced countless years. Let's go and take a look. Many martial artists from the Holy Lands were excited. They took the lead and rushed out. Although they didn't leave the ancient tomb, they had at least left that terrifying bronze coffin. Moreover, this place was so well hidden. Perhaps there were some heavenly treasures. Most importantly, they were concerned about the sage's legacy. Humph, foolish human. Even if there is a sage's inheritance, it belongs to our demon emperor palace. You humans can't cultivate our demon saint's legacy. The people from the demon imperial palace sneered. The powerhouses from the Holy Lands snorted. Whether or not it is the demon saint's legacy is uncertain. Humph. Just wait and see. The people from the demon imperial palace snorted. After walking for a while, the faces of the martial artists from the Holy Lands darkened, and they even frowned, because the passage below was completely different from the one outside, although there was an ancient aura and the vicissitudes of time. However, the runes here were different from the ones above. After walking for about the time it takes for an incense stick to burn, they found that the surrounding walls were all carved with demonic beasts. Each of them had a green face and fangs, and they were strangely shaped and emitted a demonic aura. Damn it, what is this place? Could it be a demonic beast nest? Why are there so many demonic beast carvings? Many people frowned. The people from the demon imperial palace were excited. These carvings were all demonic beasts of heaven and earth. Ha ha ha. As expected, this is our demon saint's tomb. Damn it, could it really be the demon saint's tomb? But what was going on with the situation up there? They were very puzzled. In front of them, another empty cave appeared. There were 12 demonic pillars around it, supporting the entire cave. There were also strange beasts carved on them, as if they would come to life at any time. Let's take a break. The attack just now drained me of my strength. Many people complained, and they all stopped here. This place was very spacious, enough for everyone to rest. Therefore, the various holy lands rested here. The people from the demon imperial palace were the most excited. They walked around the 12 pillars and looked carefully. The crimson dragon also looked around as if looking for treasures. The powerhouses of the other holy lands, the saints, and the saintesses all heaved a sigh of relief. They had finally left the terrifying Big Dipper coffin. Now they could no longer feel the terrifying pressure brought by the Big Dipper coffin. Damn it! I really don't want to stay here any longer. There's no exit. I want to leave. Some people couldn't take it anymore. After all, they had never experienced such a dangerous thing. In particular, The 99 invincible kings' heads and the Big Dipper coffin shocked them too deeply. They were afraid that if they stayed any longer, they would die here. Of course, there were also some who didn't care. Although it was dangerous here, there were many treasures, and many of them had broken through. Under normal circumstances, they would have needed to cultivate for hundreds of years before they could break through. However, in just 1 or 2 months, they had broken through. How could they let go of such an opportunity? No matter how dangerous it was, they had to try. Cultivation was a path that defied the heavens. In front, a few powerhouses of the Gu family stood up. A middle-aged man formed a seal with his palm. 9 ancient runes appeared on his fingertips and imprinted in the void. Pooh! The void was torn open, and a black hole was created that led to the void. What are the people of the Gu family trying to do? The surrounding people also turned their heads in puzzlement. Lin Xian and the others also narrowed their eyes. Soon they were shocked. That was because they discovered that a light image suddenly appeared in the void of the black hole. Why is the image so blurry? Light filling the sky? Where is this? Could this be the place where the battle took place? Sure enough, when they looked carefully, they found that the light image was indeed the scene of their elders fighting the Big Dipper coffin. What method is this? The Gu family is too powerful. It must be a spatial technique. Great, we can see the battle situation. Those people were excited. However, after watching for a long time, their expressions did not look good. That was because their elders did not have the upper hand. They were extremely terrified. So many elders and powerhouses of the Holy Lands had used their trump cards, but they were still unable to suppress a dead corpse. What level is that corpse? It's so terrifying. Chapter 2532. Needless to say, they were invincible kings. Not necessarily. The reason why the corpses were so powerful was because of the runes on their bodies. Those runes were so mysterious that even invincible kings couldn't control them. Only saints could. That was why the corpses were so powerful. Everyone raised their heads and looked at the screen in the sky. They were watching the battle. Unbeknownst to them, something was happening in another secret chamber not far away from them. The chamber was covered in dust. Evidently, it had been here for countless years. There were 8 statues in the 4 corners of the chamber. They were strangely shaped in the shape of 8 beasts. Each one of them was fierce and lifelike. Those who didn't know better would think that they were real. Buzz! All of a sudden, the eyes of the 8 demonic beast statues glowed with a green light. Their eyeballs actually swiveled a little. Crack! 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 The bodies of the statues began to shake, and dust fell from their bodies. The statues had come to life. They could sense the pure bloodline of the beasts. They could sense the aura of humans. Trespassers of the ancient tomb, die. A cold voice came from the 8 statues. If one looked closely, they would see that they were 8 bats. After the dust fell from their bodies, they were blood red in color, as if they were made of blood. If anyone else were here, they would definitely cry out in shock. The shape of these 8 blood-colored bats was very similar to the legendary exotic beast of heaven and earth, the Bloodwing Bat King. They were also the protectors of this ancient tomb. They were refined by someone using unmatched magical power, and their corpses were planted with Dao patterns. Even though they were dead, they had to protect the tomb at all times. Now that they sensed the aura of humans, they instantly woke up. Whoosh! 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 The 8 Bloodwing Bat Kings tore through the void and disappeared from the chamber. Outside in the cave, Lin Xian, Yi Wu Dao, and the others were all watching the screen in the sky. They were extremely nervous. The battle inside the screen was too intense. So many elders of the sacred land had brought along shocking treasures, but they were locked in a fierce battle with the bronze coffin. In the sky, countless runes emitted mysterious power. Damn it, who was buried in the bronze coffin? Why was it so powerful? This guy was much stronger than the Purple Beast King from before. This was only the 6th bronze coffin. Who knew what was in the first coffin? The young cultivators discussed spiritedly. When they talked about the first bronze coffin, their bodies trembled. However, the saints didn't think so. They had full confidence in their elders and the sacred land. They knew that their elders had many trump cards, and from the current situation, they hadn't used all of them. In other words, the current situation wasn't the most dangerous. To say, as long as their elders used all their trump cards, it wouldn't be a problem. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream rang out, echoing throughout the cave. The others quickly turned their heads over, only to see a young disciple lying on the ground, twitching nonstop. His body deflated like a deflated balloon and turned into a human skin. The blood inside was completely gone. The people from the Great Development, Holy Land, shouted furiously because the young disciple who had just died was from their Great Development, Holy Land. The others were also shocked. They stood up, no longer looking at the light screen in the sky. Instead, they looked around. Their eyes were like lightning as they scanned the surroundings. "Who is it? Come out." Another blood-curdling scream rang out. A cultivator from the Taishan sacred land fell to the ground and turned into a human skin. "Damn it! Everyone be careful!" The Taishan son of Saint roared as 99 stars circled around him, covering the entire area instantly. Yi Wu Dao, the Alcade Saint Wu Hua, and the others all snorted and rushed out with their king domains. Lin Xian's sword qi burst out. Murong Qingqing's lotus flower danced. Shen Jingqiu was surrounded by purple qi. They were facing a great enemy. Among them, the Taishan Saint and the Taishan Saint quickly checked the corpse that had turned into human skin. Soon they frowned. Their pupils constricted. That was because there were 4 marks on the corpse's neck. They were very thin. It seemed that someone had bitten the neck and sucked the blood dry. The surrounding people gasped when they saw the scene. In the next moment, they all turned their heads and stared at the people from the Demon King Palace, who were still looking for treasures. "Damn you guys, how dare you fight here?" The people of the Demon Imperial Palace felt a great pressure and stopped. They turned their heads and snorted. "Stupid humans, how dare you frame us? We didn't do this at all. You want to fight? If you don't like it, then fight." These half-demons from the Demon King Palace had very bad tempers. "Nonsense. Who else could be other than you monsters? Our human race doesn't have such an evil, blood-sucking technique like the human chain. Damn it, I said it wasn't us. If you don't like it, then fight." The Demon King Palace cultivators' demonic qi burst out and swept around. Yan Ryu also frowned. "Hua," Tiandu snorted, and a murderous look appeared in his eyes. The 2 sides were facing each other and were about to fight. At this moment, countless runes suddenly lit up in the surroundings. Under their feet, the same runes flashed in the sky. A terrifying power instantly enveloped them. "Oh no, it's an array. Run." These people's expressions changed drastically. They turned into light and dodged. However, it was already too late. Many people crashed into the light screen and were bounced back. "Damn it! Ah!" They roared crazily. The entire cave was completely enveloped by a large array. They couldn't escape at all. Moreover, this array was very strange. As soon as it appeared, it emitted a monstrous blood aura that made one's soul tremble. Their blood was about to freeze. Oh no, they were hit. The saints' and saintesses' faces were gloomy. Lin Xian's eyes also flickered. They were indeed careless. This was the ancient tomb of a saint, and it was definitely extremely dangerous. They actually didn't take precautions before. Now that they were trapped by the array, it would probably be very difficult to escape. Damn it, they didn't expect that after escaping danger, they would be trapped in an array again. They didn't know if this was a killing array. Those young martial artists were trembling. The people from the Demon King Palace also shouted coldly. "Did you see that? Damn humans! I've said it before, we didn't do it. Hua Tiandu and Yan Ryu didn't speak. They looked around, their eyes flickering. Ryu, did you notice? The aura of this array is so familiar. Indeed, looking at the runes and the way it was set up, it seemed to be a demon race array. This was indeed the ancient tomb of a demon saint. A demon race array? When the surrounding people heard this, their expressions changed and they all became uneasy. Chapter 2533 Demon Races Array. When the surrounding people heard this, their expressions changed and they all became uneasy. Lin Xian also frowned. He said to the disciples of the immortal palace beside him, "Be careful! Ha ha ha! It is indeed our demon races array." The half-demons laughed. "Damn humans, do you see that? This is our demon saint's ancient tomb. You mere humans want to touch our demon saint's ancient tomb. You deserve to die." The people of the Demon King Palace sneered. Clang! Suddenly, a stream of light appeared, turning into a blood-red light and fighting in front of them. An expert from the Demon King Hall roared in rage as he was sent flying, coughing up blood. Half of his body had been slashed apart. "Damn it! Who is it?" The people of the Demon King Palace roared, thinking that it was the martial artists of the sacred lands who attacked. Stupid half-demons, it was clearly the array that attacked. So what if you want the demon saint's ancient tomb? Do you think your Demon King Palace can survive in this array? The Saint of Dian sneered. "Damn it, this is impossible." The people of the Demon King Palace gritted their teeth. Hua Tiandu shouted coldly, "Release your aura!" "I don't believe that the demon race's array will target us." Boom! 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 The surrounding array runes flickered, drawing out countless blood-red light that attacked in all directions. It enveloped the people of the Demon King Palace. At the same time, the martial artists of the sacred lands were all attacked. "Damn it, why is it like this?" The people of the Demon King Palace roared. The array was actually attacking them. How is this possible? They had already released their demonic aura, so why was it still like this? They couldn't understand. The saints and saintesses of the sacred lands shouted coldly, "Hurry up and defend! Hurry up and attack!" Buzz! The dragon sword domain appeared on Lin Xian's body, quickly transforming into countless sword chi that intertwined. Boom! Boom! The blood-red light collided with it, producing an earth-shaking sound, shaking Lin Xian's blood and chi. On the other side, countless flower petals danced around Morong Qingqing to block the attack. The purple chi that filled the sky enveloped Xin Jingqiu. Everyone tried to defend themselves, but they were all hit by the impact. Their expressions changed. Damn it! What kind of formation was this? Why was it so terrifying? The defensive armors of the weaker young disciples were instantly pierced through by the blood-red light, and many of them were split in half. Damn it! Leaf Dao Denier roared, unleashing his golden domain to cover the Yi clan disciples. The Yaoguang saint controlled the imitation dragon pattern, and a cauldron floated above the Yaoguang sacred land disciples. The Grand Xia dynasty, the Nianli dynasty, the four symbols Holy Land, the Dian Holy Land, and the Taishan Holy Land. All the holy sons took out their trump cards to protect the martial artists of their holy lands. On Lin Xian's side, he similarly opened up the dragon sword domain, enveloping Immortal Palace's martial artists. Damn it, what kind of array is this? How could it be so terrifying? Boom! Just as the cultivators of the Holy Land exclaimed, the people of the Fiend Monarch Palace in the distance roared. A surging scarlet light filled the sky, creating a scene of apocalypse. These people from the Demon King Palace had strong physiques and fierce means. Logically speaking, it should not be difficult for them to block the attack. However, at that moment they were roaring in anger. Many of the Demon Imperial Palace's martial artists were even pierced through. Even Hua Tiandu took out a purple pearl. It froze a piece of land. Damn it! How could this be? The people of the demon imperial palace gritted their teeth, because they realized that this array was attacking them more fiercely than the humans. It seemed to be specifically targeting them. Impossible. This is the ancient tomb of the ancient saint of the demon race. It's the demon race's array. Why would it target us? It should be killing the humans. The people of the demon imperial palace went crazy. Even Yen Ryu and Hua Tiandu frowned. They also could not understand. When the martial artists of the various holy lands saw this scene, they sneered. Demon Saint's place? Now, have you tasted the power of the demon saint? These people naturally noticed this and sneered. They did not expect this array to be so evil. It seemed to be specifically targeting the people of the demon imperial palace. Boom! 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 Suddenly, the surrounding void trembled, and the runes flickered even more. Blood-red saber lights appeared in the void, slashing in all directions. Boom! Heaven and earth trembled, and cracks appeared on the defenses of the Nasi powerhouses. Damn it! How could it be so terrifying? The saints and saintesses felt their scalps go numb. On Lin Xian's side, the dragon's sword domain whistled and was attacked. He shouted coldly, and the dragon's sword domain rotated, emitting countless sharp sword lights to contend with the attack. The two collided, and the sky collapsed, and the earth cracked. The blood-red saber lights were sent flying, but they did not shatter. This scene shocked Lin Xian even more. One had to know that the sword qi emitted by his great dragon sword soul was extremely sharp. Nothing below a heaven-grade treasure could resist it. However, these blood-red saber lights did not shatter, and there were not even cracks. Kid, be careful. This seems to be the work of a saint. Damn it, it's too evil. We're trapped. The crimson dragon's face was gloomy, and he gritted his teeth. In Murong Qingqing, Shan Jingqiu led the people of the two holy lands and merged. The three holy lands joined forces to resist. Don't panic. This formation has existed for so long, and it definitely won't be able to display its original power. It's not that we can't resist it. Although Lin Xian was attacked fiercely, they could still resist. However, they did not know how long the formation could last. They could hold on for a short period of time, but as time passed, they would be in danger. After all, they were humans. Although they were powerful, their strength was not endless. Moreover, this formation had existed for tens of thousands of years, and it must have its own energy. As time passed, they might really be killed. No, I can't let this continue. Lin Xian's eyes flickered. Attack! We must break this formation. He was a formation master, so he naturally knew that passively defending was not the best way. Taking the initiative to attack was the way to go. Set up the universe formation. Behind him, Xing Tian shouted coldly. The cultivators of Immortal Palace moved quickly. They combined to form a strange, large formation. This was an extremely terrifying offensive formation of Immortal Palace. It was extremely terrifying. At this moment, the young disciples displayed it, and its power was indeed boundless. On the side, Shen Jingqiu and Murong Qingqing also organized their disciples to counterattack. Among them, the Jade Lake Sacred Ground set up the Green Lotus Sword Formation. Purple Afterglow Sacred Ground. Purple Afterglow Six Directions Formation. When the other saints and saintesses saw this scene, they also shouted coldly. They also set up the unique formations of their respective holy lands. Wu Hua and the monks of Lanrua Temple formed the Dragon Subduing Tiger Formation. Yin Yang Formation, Five Elements Formation, for Symbols Formation, Big Dipper Formation, all kinds of formations appeared one after another. They attacked crazily, resisting the blood-colored saber light that filled the sky. On the side of Demon King Palace, they also fought back with all their might. The cultivators of Demon King Palace formed the 8 Desolation Blood Sea Formation. Hua Tiando activated the purple bead. emitting thousands of rays of light to resist. Any blood-colored saber light that approached was instantly blasted away. However, Demon King Palace seemed to be the focus of the attack. Chapter 2534. The Demon King Palace seemed to be the focus of the attack. Therefore, they were under a lot more pressure. Although the 8-directional Blood Sea array was terrifying, it gradually became fragmented and could not withstand the attacks. Humph! Yen Ryu snorted coldly as a green light appeared in her eyes. A green stream of light rushed out from her body and slashed forward. In an instant, the surrounding blood-colored sword light shattered. This scene shocked everyone. The dark red divine dragon cried out in surprise. "Damn, this chick is too strong." Sure enough, after one attack, Yenryu controlled the green stream of light to destroy all the surrounding blood-colored sword light. The crisis of the Demon King Palace was resolved. Buzz, buzz, buzz! The void trembled again, and 8 blood-colored figures appeared in all directions, freezing the heaven and earth. Everyone's expression changed. They looked up at the sky with fear in their eyes, be it the Demon King Palace or the elites of the sacred grounds. Lin Xian also frowned. Sure enough, something else had appeared. Furthermore, these 8 figures were accompanied by tremendous auras as soon as they appeared, which were stronger than the crimson saber glow from before. Demonic beasts. Xing Tian's pupils constricted. At this moment, everyone looked up at the sky. Ah! Exclamations of surprise were heard. Between heaven and earth, the 8 blood-colored figures were extremely terrifying. They seemed to be formed by blood-colored light and emitted a powerful aura. Huge blood-colored wings were hidden behind their backs, and when they flapped, they brought about a strong demonic wind. "What are these? Bats?" Someone exclaimed. No, they were indeed bats. And judging from the aura, it should be the Bat King. Damn it! The Dayan saint's face instantly turned gloomy. He recalled that they had a disciple who had his skin sucked dry. Could it be that the Bat King did it? Kill! A genius from the Dayan sacred ground charged forward. Damn you, stinky bat! Return my junior brother's life. A blue sword light flashed across the sky and shone in all directions. It was like a wave as it slashed forward. Along with it was a loud roar. The surrounding people exclaimed. This sword technique was terrifying. Judging from its power, it was definitely at the level of a top-notch almighty. Buzz poof! There was a scream as the blue sword light in the sky shattered. The genius from the sacred ground who attacked was sent flying, and his arm turned into a bloody mist. What? How could he be so powerful? Everyone was stunned. The saint son of Dayan's pupils constricted. The other saints and saintesses also gasped in astonishment. What did they see? A crimson bat king had severely injured a genius from the sacred land with just a flap of its wings. Wasn't this method a little too terrifying? What realm had these blood-red bat kings reached? They did not dare to imagine. So powerful. At the very least, it was an 8-star Supreme Demon King. Moreover, it was not an ordinary Supreme Demon King. It was very likely that he was in the middle to late stages. Thinking of this, everyone's heart turned heavy. Humph! So what? It's just a demonic beast. I'll kill it. A young man from the Nangong family walked out. This young man was very handsome, and his body shone with boundless light. Nangong Saint! The surrounding crowd exclaimed. They did not expect that a saint-level genius was about to make a move. They watched the battle nervously. Nangong Xingzi soared into the sky and stared at a blood bat king in the sky. The blood-colored bat king was challenged. It flapped its blood-colored wings, which turned into dozens of sharp saber lights that slashed toward Qin Mu. Boom! Boom! The void was shattered in an instant. Soon, dozens of saber lights shrouded Nangong Xingzi. Nan Gong, Xingzi sneered. An unparalleled power erupted from his body and formed a sphere that spread out in all directions. Boom! The saber lights hit the sphere and made an earth-shattering sound. Boom! Boom! The saber lights were shattered and turned into a bloody mist. Nan Gong, Xingzi laughed. You want to hurt me with mere saber lights? Go to hell. As he spoke, he threw out a palm. His palm covered the sky and was completely black. It was as if a demonic mountain was pressing down. The sky was torn apart in an instant. The violent energy caused the surrounding young disciples to exclaim, Boom! The palm hit the Bloodbat King and completely shrouded it. This is great. He hit it. The disciples of the Nan Gong family cheered. Humph! Let's see how he dies. How dare you be arrogant in front of me? You're courting death. Cold laughter could be heard. Nan Gong, Xingzi revealed a smug smile. It was nothing in front of his black demon palm. However, the next moment he was stunned. What was going on? He felt that his opponent had not turned into a bloody mist under his black demon palm. Whoosh! The huge black demon palm was raised, and countless winds and clouds changed. The surrounding people widened their eyes and looked forward. Damn it! How could this be? He's not injured. That's impossible. The people of the Nan Gong family were the first to exclaim. The geniuses of the other sacred lands were also shocked. Lin Xian frowned. Yi Wudao's eyes were like golden lightning that streaked across the void. Damn it! How could this be? Nan Gong Xingzi was also stunned. His black demon palm was a unique technique. Even a pinnacle almighty would be smashed into pieces by such a palm strike. Even a peerless almighty would be seriously injured. However, his opponent was not injured at all. There was not even a crack on his body. Damn it! Go to hell! The black demon palm struck again. This time, its power was even more violent than before. It could be said that it could destroy heaven and earth. Boom! An earth-shattering sound could be heard. The entire cave shook and large cracks spread in all directions. However, Nan Gong Xingzi's face turned even uglier. He was the attacker, so he could naturally sense the situation of the Bloodbat King under his black demon palm. The Bloodbat King was still intact. Whoosh! Suddenly, the black demon palm broke into pieces. A blood-colored crack appeared, and two blood-colored wings pierced through the void and destroyed the black demon palm. Damn it! Nan Gong Xingzi retreated. Cracks appeared on his palm, and blood flowed out. His handsome face became extremely distorted. Saint! The martial artists of the Nan Gong family exclaimed and rushed over. The others all looked ahead in horror. It was too terrifying. The blood-colored bat was so terrifying. It could injure a saint. The opponent's strength was completely above that of a saint. Moreover, the opponent had only flapped his wings. He did not even move his body. This made the faces of all the saints and saintesses turn gloomy. Damn it! What the hell was that? Many people were horrified. The people of the Fey Imperial Palace exclaimed. Damn it! It was the Blood Wingbat King. It was a mutated beast. Wasn't it said to be extinct? How could it appear here? And there were 8 of them. The Blood Wingbat King was an ancient, peerless beast. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. This ancient tomb was too strange. It even had such an ancient beast that was about to go extinct. Whoosh! 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 The 8 Bloodwing Bat Kings moved at this moment. They flapped their blood-colored wings and formed a blood-colored tornado that swept in all directions. Chapter 2535. The martial artists of the various sacred lands suffered a violent impact. The tornado was even more terrifying than the saber light from before. Quickly block it. Lin Xian snorted coldly and activated the dragon sword domain. It roared in the sky and tore apart the surrounding tornadoes. The other saints and saintesses also used their ultimate skills to resist. Whoosh! The 8 Bloodwing Bat Kings moved. The moment they appeared, they brought along a powerful storm and a terrifying blood aura. Those array attacks were instantly shattered. Among them, 5 of the Bloodwing Bat Kings charged towards the human sacred lands. The other 3 charged towards the demon Imperial Palace. The faces of the people of the demon Imperial Palace instantly turned green. One had to know that no matter how powerful they were still just a sacred land. There were so many sacred lands on the other side, but they were only attacked by 5 Bloodwing Bat Kings. Their sacred land was attacked by 3 Bloodwing Bat Kings. How could they contend against this? Moreover, these were not ordinary Bloodwing Bat Kings. Any one of them could easily injure a saint-level genius. Sure enough, in an instant, miserable cries came from the demon Imperial Palace. More than a dozen martial artists of the demon Imperial Palace were instantly torn apart. A large bloody mist filled the air as miserable cries sounded. It was like hell on earth. The other disciples were also affected and vomited blood as they flew backward. In the blink of an eye, the demon Imperial Palace was severely injured. Damn it! Get lost! Huatiendu's eyes instantly turned red. He activated the purple orb and shot out a ray of piercing cold light. Bang! An earth-shattering sound rang out. A Bloodwing Bat King was blocked and forced back, but soon it charged over with a howl. It did not suffer any injuries. Damn it! Huatiendu roared and attacked again, fighting with the Bloodwing Bat King. The other 2 charged towards Yenryu. This scene caused everyone's hearts to tremble. Yenryu snorted coldly and formed a seal with her palm. Immediately, a green treasure bottle appeared in her hand, and thousands of rays of light shone down, enveloping her body. Boom, boom, boom. The blood-colored tornado collided with it, making a clanging sound, but it did not break. This scene made the people of the demon Imperial Palace heave a sigh of relief. However, they did not relax, because the 2 Bloodwing Bat Kings had already reached Yenryu's side. What was going on? In the distance, the martial artists of the various sacred lands also exclaimed. They were attacked by 5 Bloodwing Bat Kings. In an instant, a great battle broke out. However, the holy sons and holy daughters used a wisp of their souls to investigate the situation at the demon Imperial Palace. When they saw the 2 Bloodwing Bat Kings attacking Yenryu, they cried out in alarm. From the looks of it, the target of these Bat Kings seemed to be that mysterious woman. What's going on? Just what kind of identity did that Yenryu have? How could he alarm 2 Bloodwing Bat Kings? It should be noted that they had saint bodies on their side, and the saints and saintesses only had 5 saint bodies. One Yenryu had actually attracted 2 of them. Could it be that the other party possessed some kind of unique bloodline? Or perhaps his status in the Demon King Palace was very special. They didn't know. Lin Xian also became nervous when he saw this. Yenryu was Zhao Shui that he had set his mind on. He did not wish for anything to happen to her. Pum! Damn it! Lin Xian roared. He saw that Yenryu had been sent flying, but fortunately he didn't seem to have suffered any injuries. On the other hand, the people from the Demon Imperial Palace went crazy. Among them, a few powerful demon kings roared. Protect the young master. They charged towards the Bloodwing Bat Kings as if they had gone mad. Boom! Boom! The battle was very intense. The sky full of attacks collided with the Bloodwing Bat Kings, making sonorous sounds. However, the attacks did not break through their bodies. Impossible! Damn it! Could it be that these are invincible demon kings? Those powerhouses screamed because it was too unbelievable. Their attacks were extremely swift and fierce. Even if they were peerless demon kings, they would have been blown apart long ago. No, they were not ordinary demon kings. It seemed that they had been refined like the Big Dipper coffin outside. They might also have Tao patterns on their bodies. This was no longer a demon king. It should be a guardian of the tomb. Their defense was astonishing and their combat strength was powerful. They must be careful. Cries of alarm sounded one after another. Sure enough, although Lin Xian had a lot of people on his side, the attacks of those young disciples could not hurt the Bloodwing Bat Kings at all. Even a single saint could not do it. They had to join forces to suppress them. This was too strange. Every single thing in this ancient tomb was extremely terrifying. One had to know that these saints and saintesses were all peerless geniuses who dominated the world. Which one of them did not dominate a region? Now, they were only tied with one demon king after joining forces? No one would believe it if they told others. Moreover, what shocked them even more was that the 5 Bloodwing Bat Kings were not attacking alone. The 5 of them joined forces to form a strange formation that enveloped everyone. At that moment, Lin Xian and the others began to roar in anger. Lin Xian also knew that this was not everyone's true strength. For example, Yi Wudao, the Alcade Saint, and the others probably still had a lot of trump cards that they had not used. Not to mention them, even he did not use the saint's hand bone. Black Earth. Uft. In the distance, the illusion saint screamed. One of his arms was torn off and instantly turned into human skin. Among them, a Bloodwing Bat King charged towards him and kept absorbing his blood. Damn it, get out of my way. The illusion saint was so scared that his face turned green. He roared angrily, and his severed arm instantly regrew. A majestic force surged out. The Bloodwing Bat King was sent flying. Phew! The illusion saint exhaled. His face was pale. It was too dangerous. He was almost killed just now. When the other saints and saintesses saw this scene, their expressions turned solemn. The younger disciples were scared out of their wits. It was too terrifying. Even a saint would be killed if he was not careful, let alone them. Oh no, don't get hurt by it. Lin Xian shouted coldly. His soul was super strong, and he instantly realized that something was wrong with these Bloodwing Bat Kings. Their strength was constantly rising. Damn it, don't let them suck blood. They can increase their combat strength. Lin Xian shouted coldly again. What? Hearing this, everyone sensed it. Sure enough, they found that the Bloodwing Bat King's combat strength was getting stronger and stronger. Damn it, if this continued, they would definitely die. They could not delay any longer. They had to use their land cards. The illusion saint gritted his teeth and took out an illusion pearl. It emitted a strange and bright light. As soon as the illusion pearl was taken out, it tore apart the sea of blood and the terrifying red storm. The other saints and saintesses also used their trump cards. However, these Bloodwing Bat Kings were too terrifying. They were puppets that had been refined with saint artifacts. They were the guardians of the ancient tomb. Therefore, even if they used their land cards, these saints and saintesses would not be able to kill them in a short time. On the other side, the people of the demon imperial palace were roaring. Chapter 2536. They were severely suppressed. Damn it, he really deserved to die. Why are they targeting us? We also have the blood of the demon race flowing in our bodies. Those experts roared angrily. They really couldn't understand. Why would the array specifically target them? Yan Ruyu and Hua Tiandu's faces were gloomy. Damn it, bloodline. They're here for our bloodline. Hua Tiandu gritted his teeth and hurriedly protected Ryu. He couldn't let her get hurt. The eyes of the experts of the Demon Imperial Palace also turned red. They crazily protected Yan Ruyu. They resisted the attacks of the 2 Bloodwing Bat Kings. They had no choice. Firstly, they had to listen to Hua Tiandu's orders. Secondly, Yan Ruyu's identity was too special, not only to the Demon Imperial Palace, but to the entire demon race. It was extremely important. They couldn't let her suffer any losses. Kill. The eyes of the 2 Bloodwing Bat Kings bloomed with a strange green light. They stared at Yenryu. Kill! Cold roars sounded. That's right, their target was indeed Yenryu. Of course, they wouldn't let those humans go. You want my blood? Humph! What a good idea! Yenryu snorted coldly. She didn't expect that these guardians would attack her in this ancient tomb. Could it be that the deceased ancient sage of the monstrous tribe was plotting against her? But how many tens of thousands of years had it been? Didn't he die long ago? On Yenryu's body, a green light surrounded her like a bunch of lotus flowers, completely enveloping her. Pung pung pung. The green lotus phantom was very tall, like an immortal flower. It danced in the air, turned into a divine rainbow and swept out. With a bang, one of the Bloodwing Bat Kings was sent flying. The Bloodwing Bat King smashed through the void and directly retreated far away, rolling countless times before stopping. But in the next moment, it screamed and charged over. The two Bloodwing Bat Kings attacked crazily. They waved their wings, sharp claws, and teeth, constantly biting the green lotus phantom. The green lotus phantom was bitten into pieces and would shatter at any time, but it recovered in an instant. It grew and multiplied endlessly as if it was indestructible. It blocked the attacks of the two Bloodwing Bat Kings. This scene shocked everyone. Heavens! How could Yenryu be so terrifying? She could actually resist two Bloodwing Bat Kings alone. How could this be? Could it be that her strength far surpassed the saints? These people were all crazy. Yi Wu Dao, the Yao Guang Saint Sun, the Dao Yi Saint Sun, the Grand Xia Prince, the Central Continent Twin Kings, and the others all wore solemn expressions. They felt a huge pressure. Someone had actually surpassed them. Humph, impossible. That girl must have some kind of super trump card. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been able to resist it. The twin kings of the Central Prefecture snorted coldly, and the Alcade Saint Sun's eyes flickered. Her green lotus phantom was terrifying, and it was definitely a precious treasure. Leaf Dao Denier didn't say anything. Instead, he shouted coldly, unleashing his golden spirit domain and unleashing deadly attacks on the Bloodwing Bat King. All of a sudden, the power of the saintly physique was displayed. It was earth-shattering as it fought with the Bloodwing Bat King. Lin Xian and the others also fought back with all their might. However, Lin Xian did not display his full combat strength. He had been accumulating strength all this time. Who knew if there was something even more terrifying after these Bloodwing Bat Kings? Now, all he had to do was protect himself. Their immortal palace's side could still hold on for now. Shin Jingqiu and Murong Qingqing were not in any danger. In the distance, Yenryu displayed a powerful green lotus phantom and temporarily resolved the crisis. All of this made Lin Xian breathe a sigh of relief. Ruzalong, quickly search and see if you can break this formation. At the same time, Lin Xian activated his heavenly secret divine eyes, trying to control one of the Bloodwing Bat Kings. However, his eye technique was reflected in an instant. There was an even more terrifying backlash force that surged toward him. It was very bloody and wanted to devour his soul. Soul ignition. Lin Xian activated the secret art of soul ignition in an instant, burning away the cold, bloody energy. Damn it! There was indeed something mysterious in these Bloodwing Bat Kings' bodies. He guessed that it should be something like a Dao pattern. Otherwise, it couldn't be so powerful that it could resist his heavenly secret divine eyes. Roar! The battle situation in front changed again. The bodies of the three Bloodwing Bat Kings suddenly expanded. Blood-colored patterns appeared on their bodies. They opened their bloody legs and enveloped the people of the Demon Imperial Palace. The expressions of the people of the Demon Imperial Palace changed instantly. They felt that the blood in their bodies was rapidly draining. Not good. They want to forcefully rob us of our blood. The expressions of the experts of the Demon Imperial Palace changed drastically. Damn it, this is the Bat King's innate ability. They actually activated their bloodline power. Hurry up and activate our own. Countless angry roars rang out. The people of the demon imperial palace quickly activated their bloodline power to resist. The Bloodwing Bat King was a mutated species of heaven and earth in ancient times. It was an extremely terrifying, peerless beast. In addition to their ferocious nature, their bloodline power was extremely terrifying. They could directly rob others of their blood. This kind of method was extremely strange and impossible to guard against. For a moment, the people of the demon imperial palace screamed. Hua Tiandu threw out a purple bead that kept expanding. It was like a purple sun that fixed the sky and resisted. On Yen Ryu's side, the green lotus illusion on her body also expanded. It turned into a divine tree of heaven and earth that enveloped all the people of the demon imperial palace. On the other side, the 5 Bloodwing Bat Kings also activated their deprivability and forcefully robbed the martial artists of their blood. The young martial artists instantly screamed. Their faces were pale. Blood rushed out of their bodies and turned into rivers that flew into the sky. The 5 Bloodwing Bat Kings crazily devoured. Many of the weaker ones were directly turned into human skin. Their blood was forcefully taken away. The Immortal Palace side was also affected. The disciples of the Immortal Palace screamed. Their armor and king's domain were useless at this moment. The blood in their bodies flew out uncontrollably. Seeing that they were about to be sucked dry, Lin Xian shouted coldly, "Great Dragon Sword Soul!" In the spirit domain, countless dragon-shaped sword energies flew out and slashed towards the sky. Boom, boom, boom. Countless cracks appeared between heaven and earth. The blood that filled the sky flowed back. The martial artists of the Immortal Palace cried out in shock. That's great. They felt like they had just survived a great festival. Seeing this scene, the other saints and saintesses all followed suit. They slashed the void, wanting to stop it. However, almost no one succeeded. They couldn't cut off this connection at all. Damn it. How could that kid cut it off? Could it be that there was something special about his sword chi? The surrounding saints and saintesses couldn't understand. How could they know that the great dragon sword soul's attack was unparalleled? It could destroy everything. The deprivability could also be destroyed. Chapter 2537. Of course, the other saints and saintesses did not have the great dragon sword soul, but some powerful saints and saintesses had other means. For example, the golden sword, dragon pattern cauldron, only in heaven and earth, and the power of the saint physique could all destroy the divine power. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. However, after such a long time, it would still be a great crisis for the human race. Perhaps, other than a few saints and saintesses, everyone else would be killed. Damn it! Lin Xian roared and rushed into the sky. His body emitted a powerful light as he waved the ancient dragon abyss sword in all directions. Streaks of sharp sword waves burst forth like heavenly swords, shattering the void. They were saved. Everyone exclaimed as they felt their blood returning to their bodies. In the next moment, they looked at Lin Xian. It was this kid who saved them. At this moment, they had mixed feelings. The saints and saintesses looked at Lin Xian's figure with solemn expressions. His opponent's sword chi was simply too sharp and too bizarre. Lin Xian ignored them. His figure flashed and instantly arrived at the side of the demon imperial palace. With a few slashes, he broke the Bat King's divine power. They were saved. The people of the demon imperial palace also heaved a sigh of relief. They looked at Lin Xian with complicated expressions. Yen Ryu smiled. "Thank you, young master, for your help." She wanted to smile. "Beautiful." Hua Tiandu snorted, but he still said, "Thank you for your help. I will remember this favor." Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. In the sky, the 8 Bloodwing Bat Kings stopped attacking. They stood in 8 different directions and stared coldly at Lin Xian. Lin Xian felt a great pressure. It was extremely dangerous to be stared at by so many peerless demon kings. Humph! He snorted, and sword qi rushed out from his body, shattering the void and destroying the powerful pressure of the 8 demon kings. Lin Xian stood in the sky and looked in all directions. Everyone, I think we should work together. Brother Lin, do you have any ideas? Yi Wudao asked. The other saints and saintesses also looked up. Among them, the 5 Elements Palace, the 9 Firmaments Divine Emperor, and the Tai Dynasty were furious, but they did not say anything. This was because the other party's sword technique was very powerful. It was able to destroy that kind of blood-sucking divine ability. To them, this was undoubtedly a life-saving straw. They didn't dare to provoke him now. Lin Xian's eyes flickered as tens of thousands of sword beams radiated from his body. He was like a sword immortal. My companion is an array master. He should be able to find the key to breaking the array. When the time comes, we can attack together and break this array. Then he could leave this place. However, during this period, I ask for everyone's cooperation. Cooperate. Hearing this, the expressions of the people from the Nangong family and the Yinyang sect changed. They remembered what had happened before. Previously, when they were trying to break the 8 trigrams formation in the secret room, they had worked together with the other party. However, at that time they were not too willing. In the end, they were tortured to death by the other party. The current scene was extremely similar to the one before. This made them gnash their teeth and their faces turn ashen. However, there was nothing they could do. The other party's attainments and formations were far above theirs. All right, no problem. We'll listen to you. Yi Wudao nodded. Wu Hua also made a statement. The prince of the Great Xia also said that it was fine. Since the top saints had said so, the other saints and saintesses didn't dare to have any objections. Ruzalong, it's up to you, Lin Xian said. She opened up the dragon's word domain, and countless dragon-shaped sword beams surrounded her, cutting off the blood-sucking divine ability. The Crimson Dragon led the people from the various sacred lands to begin breaking the array. However, the array wasn't that easy to break. There were still 8 Bloodwing Bat Kings eyeing them covetously. As expected, as soon as they began to break the array, the 8 Bloodwing Bat Kings attacked like crazy. This time, their strength was even more terrifying than before. Rays of blood-colored light shot into the sky like a surging sea of blood. Although Lin Xian had temporarily suppressed the blood-sucking divine ability, the Bloodwing Bat Kings were still very terrifying without it. For a moment, screams sounded again. They split into 2 groups. One group broke the array, while the other attacked. Lin Xian roared and slashed out with his sword. He sent a Bloodwing Bat King flying as he roared loudly. Qingqing, Jingqiu, you and Ruzalong break the array together. I'll attack with Wu Hua and the others. Murong Qingqing, Shan Jingqiu, lead the others and the Crimson Dragon to break the array. On the other side, Lin Xian, Wu Hua, Yi Wudao, Yaoguang Sage, and the others began to attack. Of course, in addition to them, countless geniuses and powerhouses also attacked. They destroyed a part of the world. However, the 8 Bloodwing Bat Kings were too terrifying. Their bodies were like heaven-grade treasures that couldn't be broken at all. After a fierce battle, the Bloodwing Bat Kings were sent flying countless times, but each time they would quickly charge back. It was as if they were endless and couldn't die. Lin Xian's side was miserable. The better ones had exhausted their strength, and the worse ones were injured. In fact, 2 of the saints were torn apart and almost killed. Humph! Yan Ruyu snorted coldly. She took off a bronze octagonal bell from her waist and shook it gently in her hand. Ding ding dang dang. A crisp sound was heard, and suddenly the void shattered. Not good. It seemed to be Flower Protector. The surrounding people's faces changed. They didn't expect that the other party would have a Flower Protector. Damn it. Weren't the 3 flower protectors taken away? How could there be a 4th one? Someone exclaimed. Even Lin Xian was surprised. Yi Wudao and the Yaoguang sage were also surprised. The 3 flower protectors had been divided among the 3 of them. They didn't expect another one to appear in the other party's hands. Defend! Exclamations were heard. Everyone retreated. The light of flower protector blasted the bloodwing bat kings, sending them flying again. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Mysterious runes appeared on the bat king's body. Their bodies seemed to be flowing with blood. It was incomparably demonic. A terrifying demonic aura filled the air. No, help me. I can't unleash the full power of Flower Protector. Indeed, although Yen Ryu was powerful, she was only at the level of a Sky Pride. Although Flower Protector was terrifying, they couldn't unleash its full power yet. Attack! Lin Xian also took out Flower Protector. Not only him, but Yi Wudao and the Yaoguang sage also took out Flower Protectors. 4 Flower Protectors floated in the sky, stabilizing the 4 sides of Heaven Palace, and then began to shake. They attacked carefully, controlling all the sound waves within a certain range to avoid being affected. Flower Protectors were very powerful. Although they could only unleash a trace of power, if they attacked, the martial artists below the level of an almighty would be turned into ashes in an instant. Roar! The 4 Bloodwing Bat Kings roared and pounced on Flower Protector, fighting against him. As for the other 4, they charged over once again. Chapter 2538. The 4 Bloodwing Bat Kings roared and pounced on Flower Protector, fighting against him. As for the other 4, they charged over once again. Damn it! Leaf Dowdenier roared. Their Flower Protector could only pin down 4 of them. They needed other methods to deal with the other 4. However, Yenryu began to breathe a sigh of relief. There were only 4 left, and the danger to them had greatly decreased. It wasn't that they couldn't defeat them. Thinking of this, a green light appeared on her body, and she slashed out, sending one of the closest ones flying. Everyone attacked together, suppressing them. Kill! Angry roars rang out one after another. The cultivators of the various holy lands charged over, forcing the 4 Bloodwing Bat Kings to retreat. That's great! Everyone cheered wildly. They saw hope. However, the 4 Bloodwing Bat Kings roared, and endless bloody light spread out from their bodies. Buzz! 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 For more blurry figures appeared beside them, and they began to combine and transform, forming another 4 Bat Kings. Damn it, how is this possible? Are they clones? The Alcade Saint waved his palm, sending one of the condensed Bat Kings flying. However, he found that there were no cracks on the other party's body, and it was also terrifying. Not good. I'm afraid it's not clones. Damn it, what is this? It can't be broken. Exclamations sounded, and despair appeared in everyone's eyes. At this moment, the Bloodwing Bat Kings that were fighting against the 4 Flower Protectors also split into 4 clones. The 8 Bat Kings became 16 Bat Kings. Each one was incomparably powerful, and their bodies were like Heaven Step artifacts. Their attacks were even more powerful. Damn it. No, I don't believe it. Everyone was in despair. It was already difficult for them to fight against the 8 Bat Kings. Now that the number had doubled, what could they do? 16 Bloodwing Bat Kings. How could they fight? Everyone's faces were filled with despair. Leaf Dowdenier, the Alcade Saint, and the others' faces were gloomy. Unless they used all their trump cards, could they kill the other party? They had no confidence in their hearts. Ka ka ka! Boom! At this moment, the Crimson Dragon exclaimed, "Great, the array is broken. Everyone run. Kid, let's hurry up and leave." The Crimson Dragon roared. Lin Xian and the others' eyes lit up. In an instant, his dragon's sword domain enveloped everyone from Immortal Palace and flew into the distance. Let's go. He called out to Murong Qingqing and Xinjingqiu and left quickly. Off to the side, flowerless, Leaf Daudenier, the Grand Xia Crown Prince, the Alcade Holy Sun, and the others all shouted coldly. They took their people and left. It was impossible for them to fight back now. There were 16 terrifying Bat Kings, and they simply couldn't fight back. They could only hurry and escape. Those who were too slow would probably be killed. Whoosh! Whoosh! Everyone fled in all directions. Everyone fled in different directions. Their speed was extremely fast. Some were even willing to burn their spiritual power, take secret pills, and use secret techniques to increase their speed. Roar! The 16 Bloodwing Bat Kings chased after him. One of them headed toward the Demon Emperor Palace, and the other toward Leaf Daudenier. One of them charged towards the Gu clan. These 3 great saints were very powerful, but they acted alone. The others had more or less joined forces. Roar! Among them, 2 of the Bat Kings charged toward Lin Xian's side. Seeing this scene, Lin Xian's face darkened and the Crimson Dragon cursed. F***CK. Why are there 2 of them? They were about to go crazy. Even Leaf Daudenier and the Gu clan had one. Why were there 2 of them on their side? Could it be that the Bloodwing Bat Kings had recognized their strength? But what kind of joke was this? They suddenly felt the treatment of the Demon Emperor Palace. Damn it! Xingtian also roared. Xinjingqiu and Murong Qingqing also focused their gazes. Lin Xian's eyes flickered. He roared, and the dragon's sword domain turned into an azure dragon, enveloping everyone and increasing his speed again. However, the 2 Bloodwing Bat Kings followed closely behind. In the end, they even cut off their path. Not only them, but the others were also affected. In an instant, a great battle broke out. Kid, let's fight. We have so many people. I don't believe we can't kill him. Don't you have Flower Protector? Let's set one first. Lin Xian nodded, and the Flower Protector floated above his head. To be honest, they weren't particularly afraid of the 2 Bloodwing Bat Kings. Lin Xian had many trump cards on his side. There was also the Sage's Handbone and the Black Earth. Buzz, buzz, buzz. But in the next moment, his face turned green, because he found that the 2 Bloodwing Bat Kings had once again transformed into clones, and there were 3 more. Damn it! 5 Bloodwing Bat Kings appeared on their side in an instant. How were they going to fight? They were not the only ones. Roars could be heard from other places as well. The Bloodwing Bat Kings that were besieging the sacred ground also transformed into clones. More Bloodwing Bat Kings appeared. For a moment, screams were heard. No, why would they transform into clones? Lin Xian supported the dragon's sword domain and floated the Flower Protector, blocking the void. They didn't act rashly. The 5 Bloodwing Bat Kings were also waiting. There must be a reason. There must be a reason. Why did these guys have clones? Damn it, why is this happening? Lin Xian thought quickly. Previously, they were targeting Yen Ruyu, and now they were targeting them. Not only that, the Gu family and the Yi family were also heavily impacted. Could it be bloodline? Lin Xian's pupils shrank. Bloodline, what bloodline? The Crimson Dragon was puzzled. Lin Xian said, "Yes, it must be bloodline power." We don't know Yen Ryu's identity, but it seems that her status seems to be stronger than Hua Tiandu, the sage of the Demon Imperial Palace. Thinking about it, her bloodline power must be very terrifying. So, these Bloodwing Bat Kings targeted her before. In addition, the Gu family and the Yi family were ancient families with the bloodline of the great emperor, especially Yi Wudao, who was a sage. So, they received special targeting. Wu Hua also had a mysterious bloodline, and there were other saints and saintesses. All the major sects, as long as they had bloodline power, were targeted. We have more on our side. Ruzalong, you don't have to say it. If the Demon Imperial Palace knew about your bloodline, they would go crazy. Qingqing and Qiu also have amazing bloodlines, and Peacock has the bloodline of the Great Bright Lord. That's why we are being targeted. Damn it, it's really like that. The Crimson Dragon thought for a while and found that Lin Xian's guess was right. Everyone's expression changed. But it shouldn't be. 5 of them had bloodlines, so how could there be 5 of them? Among the others, there must be bloodline power. That should be because their bloodline power was not enough. Whether it was Ruzalong, Qiu Er, Qingcheng Yi Wudao, or Wuhua, their bloodline power was the best. It could be said that it shattered the past and present. These Bloodwing Bat Kings were guardians. Could it be that the demon Imperial Palace gave an order before he died? Did he ask them to collect the best bloodline power? Then what was the use of collecting it? Chapter 2539. Lin Xian still couldn't figure it out, but he guessed that it was most likely the case. These Bloodwing Bat Kings were indeed used to collect bloodline power, which was why they were targeted. 1, 2, 3, for one more to go. Temple Master, what bloodline power do you have? Peacock asked from behind. Lin Xian shook his head. I don't have any bloodline power. No. Hearing this, everyone was stunned and couldn't believe it. Their Temple Master was so powerful, but he didn't have any bloodline power. That was too unbelievable. That wasn't right. Who was the extra one targeting? The Crimson Dragon frowned. It's me. The 1-pound Xingtian said, I have a spatial bloodline. As expected, the Crimson Dragon sighed. That made sense. However, let's think about how to deal with these 5 big guys. It seems that if we don't move, they won't move either. Why don't we just stay here and waste time with them? Xingtian, take out the black demon ship. The other disciples boarded the ship and controlled it. Yes. Xingtian waved his hand and the black demon ship appeared. Immediately, the disciples of the Immortal Palace all entered the black demon ship and activated the formation inside to resist. I'll seal one with Flower Protector and another with the Saint's Hand Bone. There are 3 left. Qingcheng, you and Qiu Er take one. Xingtian, you take Peacock and the others to fight against one. Leave the last one to me and Ruzalong. In an instant, Lin Xian distributed the tasks. These people quickly took action. Lin Xian took out the Saint's Hand Bone and suspended it in the air. A terrifying pressure emerged, and the entire space instantly froze. Soon, he and Flower Protector sealed 2 of them. These 2 weapons of mass destruction were already very powerful even before they were unsealed. If the seal was broken, it would probably be sealed directly. However, Lin Xian didn't want to break the seal unless it was absolutely necessary. After all, the appearance of the Big Dipper coffin this time was related to him breaking the Saint's Hand Bone. He couldn't guarantee that something terrifying would happen if he broke the seal again. It was better to resist it himself first. If he really couldn't hold on, he would use it. Erupt together. Lin Xian, Crimson Dragon, Murong Qingqing, Shenjing Qiu, Xingtian, and the others were all using their own ultimate techniques. Peacock and the rest coordinated their attacks with the black demon ship. This battle was earth-shattering, and it took a very long time. It had already lasted for 3 days and 3 nights. Lin Xian and the others were about to run out of energy. Fortunately, they had a lot of natural treasures in their hands. Moreover, the more they fought, the more excited they became, because this was the best battle they had ever had. They could use this to improve their combat awareness and experience. After all, it wasn't something that could happen at any time. Finally, on the 7th day of the battle, Lin Xian felt that it was about time. He began to use his trump card to kill. Whoosh! The great dragon's sword soul erupted, and the 4 seals on the ancient dragon abyss sword were undone. A Bloodwing Bat King was sent flying. There was a sword wound on its body that couldn't be healed. This scene shocked the people at the checkpoint. They didn't expect their temple masters sword chi to be so terrifying. As expected, Lin Xian managed to severely injure a Bloodwing Bat King with the help of the great dragon sword soul. However, the Bloodwing Bat King was too terrifying. There were Taoist patterns in its body. Otherwise, it would be very difficult to kill it completely. Kid, use that thing. Didn't you catch a lot of bugs like the gold-devouring bugs? See if you can destroy them. The Crimson Dragon reminded him. Okay. Lin Xian's eyes lit up. He had forgotten about this. When he first entered the cave, he caught 100 of these black bugs, and he could control them with his soul. Now that he used it, the 100 black bugs flew out. They fought against the heavily injured Bloodwing Bat King. The Bloodwing Bat King sent the black bugs flying. However, these bugs were made of darkness magic crystals and were very sturdy. Their bodies were not inferior to the Bloodwing Bat King's. Therefore, they could fly out and come back again. For a while, the two sides were locked in a fierce battle. However, not only were these black bugs hard, but they could also devour everything. Sure enough, before long, one of the Bloodwing Bat Kings let out a miserable roar. Many holes appeared on its body. They were all bitten by these black bugs. Bite its head. Lin Xian controlled these black bugs to crawl toward the Bloodwing Bat King's head. He guessed that even if there were Taoist patterns, they should be in the head and the heart. Therefore, he split up and attacked the Bloodwing Bat King's head and heart, respectively. The Bloodwing Bat King struggled frantically. Its body was overflowing with bloody light, and mysterious runes flashed. However, these black bugs were indeed very strange. They could cut through everything. In the end, they broke the Bloodwing Bat King's heart and brain, respectively. They bit the Taoist patterns inside. The Bloodwing Bat King screamed. It was no longer invincible. In the end, it was killed and turned into a bloody mist. Whoosh! The bloody mist drifted in all directions. The Crimson Dragon exclaimed. He felt that his dragon blood had been stimulated. This was great. Could it be that this thing could awaken the power of one's bloodline? Thinking of this, he crazily absorbed the blood. Not only him, but Murong Qingqing, Xin Jingqiu, Xing Tian, and Peacock also absorbed the blood. They felt that their bloodline power was boiling. For a moment, they looked at the remaining Bloodwing Bat Kings with shining eyes. Lin Xian was also surprised. However, he did not have the power of his bloodline. However, he had the dragon's sword soul. He realized that this thing also had a revival effect on the dragon's sword soul. The dragon's sword soul was more powerful than before. Although the improvement was not much, Lin Xian could clearly feel it. Kill! Lin Xian was overjoyed. He knew how difficult it was to revive the dragon's sword soul. Now that there was such an opportunity, how could he let it go? In an instant, everyone charged forward again. Using this method, Lin Xian killed all the Bloodrobe Bat Kings, one by one. Lin Xian did not kill the last Bloodwing Bat King. Instead, he bit off the Taoist patterns in its head. Through the heavenly secret divine eyes, he directly controlled the Bloodwing Bat King and planted a beast slave mark in its body. Come here. Lin Xian's eyes shone with a golden light. The Bloodwing Bat King stopped attacking and floated over from the sky. It knelt on one knee on the ground and greeted its master. Very good. Lin Xian flashed a smile, while the others around him sucked in a cold breath. This scene was strange, no matter how they looked at it. Such a terrifying Bloodwing Bat King had been subdued. Everyone else heaved a sigh of relief. That was great. This battle was really extremely dangerous. Sure enough, Lin Xian's eyes lit up. He asked, "How long has it been?" Xing Tian calculated. It had been almost a month. Damn, a battle that lasted for a month. These Bloodwing Bat Kings were really terrifying. I wonder how the others are doing? Murong Qingqing frowned. Chapter 2540. I wonder how the others are doing? Murong Qingqing frowned. They probably didn't feel too good either. Even we barely made it out alive. It was very dangerous. But thinking about it, Yi Wu Dao and the others must have made it through. Their trump cards aren't any less than ours. All right, let's rest here and recover our strength. We'll continue on our way. I want to see what's inside this ancient tomb. Everyone sat down cross-legged to rest. After fighting for a month, they had expended a lot of energy. These people rested for 7 days and 7 nights before completely recovering. Then they quickly set off and left this place. In other places, Yi Wu Dao, the Gu family, Wu Hua, and the others had also experienced a month of battle. They had used their super powerful trump cards to finally kill the Bloodwing Bat King that was chasing them. After recuperating, they set off again. The Fey Imperial Hall for Symbol's sacred ground, and the others did the same. However, some of the weaker ones were in trouble. Although they had killed the Bloodwing Bat King in the end, they had suffered heavy losses. The 5 Elements Palace and the Myriad Thunder sacred ground were even more miserable. Their saints had already been killed. Now that they had encountered such a powerful Fey King puppet, half of their disciples were killed. There were even situations where the saints of 2 sacred grounds were killed. The saints of the Illusion Palace and the Nangong family had both fallen. It could be said that this was a very tragic battle. The entire human race had been affected. The more serious ones had half of them killed, while the less serious ones were covered in injuries and had their strength greatly reduced. It could be said that the one that was preserved the most intact was Lin Xian's immortal palace. As they were well preserved, they did not die. They were only injured and exhausted. If the people of the other sacred grounds knew about this, what would they think? They would probably vomit blood in anger. Boom! 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 Lin Xian and the others flew quickly. They all boarded the black demon ship and turned into a black stream of light. Finally, they arrived at another hall. This hall was very majestic. There were demonic pillars around it, and there were engravings under its feet. It looked incomparably sinister. There were also several halls and secret rooms around it. Seeing the scene, Lin Xian formed a seal with both hands. A pair of golden eyes appeared in the sky and scanned the surroundings. He heaved a sigh of relief as he didn't discover any powerful array formations. Collect them separately and be careful. Don't touch the formation. Yes, Peacock, Hu Dao, Ghostly, and the others led the martial artists of Immortal Palace in all directions and began their search. Lin Xian, Crimson Dragon, Murong Qingqing, and the others also split up. Many palaces and pavilions were opened, some of them covered in dust. Yes, there was nothing. Damn it, could it be an empty city? These people are getting a little anxious. It wasn't easy for him to come here. If he didn't bring back some treasures, how could he be at ease? Ah! In the distance, Xin Jingqiu cried out in alarm. Brother Lin Xian, come quickly! Seeing this, Lin Xian's figure flashed and flew forward. After passing through several pavilions and halls, he finally arrived in front of Xin Jingqiu. After him, the Crimson Dragon, Murong Qingqing, Xing Tian, and the others all arrived. Xin Jingqiu pointed at the hall in front and said, Brother Lin Xian, look inside. There are treasures. Lin Xian and the others looked inside and then gasped. The Crimson Dragon's eyes were shining. We're rich, we're rich. The other martial artists of Immortal Palace, Purple Afterglow Sacred Land, and Jade Lake Sacred Land also flew over. When they saw the scene, they were also extremely shocked. Everyone was stupefied because, inside the palace, there were countless treasure, qi emitting resplendent light. Sabers, spears, staffs, axes, whips, and all kinds of treasures were arranged there. Each of them was like a small sun, emitting a sharp aura. Qiu, did you find this? Lin Xian was surprised. Shen Jingqiu said with a smile, Yes, Brother Lin Xian. It seems that my luck is really good. I actually found so many treasures. How is it? I'm awesome, right? Qiu is really awesome. Let's split it among the three of us, Lin Xian said. He waved his hand. The martial artists of Immortal Palace walked in. The people of Purple Afterglow Sacred Land and Jade Lake Sacred Land were also extremely shocked. The female disciples of Jade Lake Sacred Land looked at Lin Xian in surprise. The people of Purple Afterglow Sacred Land were also shocked. In the crowd, the grandsons of the elders who opposed Lin Xian had already been killed by the Bloodwing Bat King in the previous battle. Now, they only had gratitude for Lin Xian. The people of Immortal Palace and the two sacred lands quickly walked in and distributed the treasures. Peacock and the others looked at this scene and exclaimed. There were earth-rank treasures inside. They were at least mid-rank treasures, and there were many high-rank and top-rank treasures. There were also a few heaven-rank treasures. This made them extremely jealous. They quickly collected and recorded the treasures. Lin Xian and the others looked at the scene and smiled. Palace Master, we're really rich. Peacock walked out with a smile on her face. She had already counted everything. There were 13,000 mid-rank earth-rank treasures, 2,300 high-rank earth-rank treasures, and 108 top-rank earth-rank treasures. Hearing this, Lin Xian also got these. The dark red divine dragon cried out in shock. Damn, this is too much. They didn't expect that there would be so many treasures in this palace. As expected of a saint's palace, it was indeed incomparably rich. Lin Xian also swallowed his saliva. It was indeed a lot. There are 4 treasures with sky-high prices. We've decided that Purple Afterglow Sacred Land will get 1, Jade Lake Sacred Land will get 1, and Immortal Palace will get 2. Good. Lin Xian nodded. He took the 2 heaven-ranked treasures. One was a pagoda, and the other was a long saber. In addition, the remaining weapons could be chosen by Immortal Palace's martial artists. The rest would be rewarded according to their contributions when they returned. Immortal Palace's martial artists exclaimed again and again. They hurried forward to distribute the treasures. Lin Xian gave the heaven-ranked pagoda he obtained to Xing Tian. Thank you, young master. Xing Tian was also excited. He didn't expect that Lin Xian would give him a heaven-ranked treasure. Lin Xian smiled. This was a great harvest. It was enough to fill Immortal Palace's treasury. The Crimson Dragon went in and glanced around. He put away all the tables and shelves that held the weapons. These things were preserved for tens of millions of years without spoiling. They were definitely treasures. The others thought about it and agreed. Thus, they took away everything that could be taken away. The entire palace was empty. Nothing was left. Let's go. Everyone was happy. Lin Xian nodded and prepared to leave. However, at this moment he frowned and a golden light appeared in his eyes. Buzz! In the next moment he stretched out his palm. A huge palm of light grabbed forward. Boom! The void trembled and a secret compartment appeared on the ground. Then, a dark red stone platform appeared. It was more than a meter tall and appeared in the palace. The stone platform was about 2 meters in diameter. There were 17 simple treasures on it. There were flying swords, beads, gourds, and so on. Chapter 2541. There were a total of 17 items on the mysterious stone platform. They were placed randomly and emitted a terrifying aura. There were even some resplendent lights. Everyone's expression changed when they sensed the aura. Heaven-grade treasures. Heaven-grade treasures again. 17 heaven-grade treasures. These people went crazy. Their eyes were bloodshot and their breathing was rapid. Oh heavens! Lin Xian exclaimed. There were still hidden treasures. The others were even more shocked. They did not notice at all. How did the other party find out? His eye technique was too terrifying. Shen Jingqiu said, Big brother Lin Xian, you're too amazing. You can even find them. Lin Xian smiled and pinched Shen Jingqiu's face. Then he walked up. Qingqing, come. We'll split them. After all, Shen Jingqiu and Morong Qingqing were his women. Lin Xian did not feel bad about giving them treasures. Shen Jingqiu and Morong Qingqing received 5 out of the 17 heaven-grade treasures, while Lin Xian received 7. The 2 women were elated. Beautiful smiles hung on their lips. Big brother Lin Xian, you're the best. Shen Jingqiu tiptoed and kissed Lin Xian's face a few times. Morong Qingqing did not do so. However, she looked at Lin Xian with eyes full of love. All right, continue searching. There are so many palaces here. There might be treasures in other places. Lin Yuxuan waved his hand again. At the same time, he gave Peacock, Hu Yidao, and Ghostly a heaven-grade treasure each. The 3 of them were overjoyed. Thank you, Temple Master. They were too excited. These people searched quickly. This time they were full of enthusiasm. Their eyes were red. In each of the palaces, there were tens of thousands of earth-grade treasures. There were even a dozen heaven-grade treasures. How could they let go of such a huge treasure trove? These people searched carefully, not letting go of even a single corner. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. He felt that this place was not simple. Although there were treasures on the surface, the real treasures were hidden in the dark. For example, if he did not take action, these people would not have found the stone platform. It had to be kept here for who knew how many years before it could be taken by other intruders. He then activated his heavenly secret god eyes, and a pair of golden eyes floated in the sky, looking down. Suddenly he frowned, and a fierce light appeared in his eyes. Whoosh! He floated into the distance. Kid, what did you discover? Seeing this, the crimson dragon swayed its tail and followed. Lin Xian came to a remote place. This place was very dilapidated and could not even be called a palace. It could only be called a dilapidated stone house. Are you sure it's here? The crimson dragon looked around, then looked at the magnificent palace and frowned. How could there be treasures in such a dilapidated place? Lin Xian was also confused. However, he said that he had indeed used his heavenly fate divine eye to sense a special aura here. It was very unusual. Xiaobai, Lin Xian took Little White out. Weige's stomach was bulging, and it kept burping. It followed the Yaoguang Holy Lady and ate a lot of heavenly treasures along the way. Its stomach was bulging. It had been more than a month, and it had not refined them yet. At this moment, it was like a small ball. Therefore, it had been hiding in the black earth and sleeping to digest the heavenly treasures it had eaten. Now that it was caught by Lin Xian, the little guy waved its little claws in protest. Lin Xian knocked on it helplessly. Little guy, how many good things did you eat? Your stomach is still bulging like a ball? Wu-ji, Whitey's eyes were wide open as it kept rolling around, looking like a thief. It seemed that it had benefited a lot from following the Yaoguang Holy Lady. All right, hurry up and let me see if there are any treasures here. Little White nodded and began to search with the treasure basin. Soon, its body swayed and it flew forward. Wu Jiet pointed at a piece of land behind. You said that the treasure is here? Lin Xian asked. Little White nodded and waved its little claws. Let me see what it is. The crimson dragon waved its dragon claws and clawed forward. The ground cracked and a deep pit appeared. The crimson dragon's claws made a clanging sound. He frowned. There was indeed something that could withstand his attack. It was definitely not an ordinary item. He waved his claws again, and the ground completely cracked open. It appeared. The crimson dragon cried out in surprise. Lin Xian also narrowed his eyes. He found something in the deep pit below. That thing was very thin and folded into a square. There were dense patterns on it. It seemed to be a piece of clothing. However, it was too thin. The crimson dragon grabbed it. Sure enough, after the good clothes were unfolded, it was something similar to a Taoist robe. Lin Xian looked at it and found that it was engraved with runes. Its aura was obviously a heaven-stage treasure. Moreover, It seemed to be a medium-grade heaven-stage treasure. Not bad. I wonder how effective it is. Lin Xian was a little happy. In terms of attack power, he was not worried at all. With the dragon sword soul, his attack power could continue to increase. However, in terms of defense, he was much weaker. Among the saints, he was only at the middle level. But now, with this Taoist robe, it was different. Lin Xian carefully checked the Taoist robe and found that there was nothing wrong with it. Then he put it on. Whoosh! He poured his power into it. Suddenly, countless flames burned on the Taoist robe. It was very strange. Flaming Taoist robe. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. Rusalong, try attacking. After hearing that, the crimson dragon waved its dragon claws, and a sharp light flew out. Lin Xian did not use anything, nor did he flash. He wanted to see how defensive the Taoist robe was. With a clang, the void cracked open, and the red light blasted on it, making a sonorous sound. Lin Xian did not use any power. The attack was completely dissolved by the flames. So powerful. It was definitely a medium-grade heaven-stage Taoist robe. Kid, you're rich. The Crimson Dragon was also pleasantly surprised. He did not snatch it. His body was very sturdy. Moreover, he could not wear this robe. No, you have to give me something to compensate me. The Crimson Dragon coaxed and pestered Lin Xian to get 2 heaven-stage weapons. Lin Xian would not be stingy with the Crimson Dragon. He had more than a dozen heaven-stage artifacts in his possession. Moreover, he was even happier that he had obtained the flaming Taoist robe. With it, Lin Xian's defense could be considered to be sufficient. It would probably be very difficult for ordinary saints to break through his defense, unless they used some powerful trump cards. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon raised their heads. Those people were coming. As expected, they were warriors from the other sacred grounds. Seeing the scene, Lin Xian's figure flashed and flew out. He put away the flames on his Taoist robe. In the distance, the warriors from the Immortal Palace and the 2 sacred grounds who were still searching for other palaces and pavilions also raised their heads. Oh no, they're here. Damn it, hurry up. These people were searching like crazy. If they did not find it, it would be snatched away by the other party. There were people. The warriors from the sacred grounds in the sky exclaimed when they saw this scene. What were they looking for? Could it be? It was a treasure. Hurry, hurry, look for it too. Exclamations could be heard. Chapter 2542. Previously, they had suffered such heavy injuries that their hearts were itching with hatred. Now that there were treasures, they naturally wanted to snatch them. Otherwise, it would not be able to make up for the resentment in their hearts. Humph! Seeing that these people were about to attack, a cold shout was heard. Murong Qingqing and Shun Jingqiu appeared in the sky. It's them, the Jade Lake Saintess and Zixia Saintess. Seeing this scene, many people exclaimed in surprise. They did not expect it to be them. It seemed that they had also survived the pursuit of the blood-winged Bat King. No one knew. What happened to their little lover? Humph, it would be best if he was killed. That would relieve the hatred in my heart. The person they were talking about was naturally Lin Xian. However, soon the people of the Tai dynasty and the Tuoba family were disappointed, because they saw 2 figures floating in the distance. It was Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon. Damn it, that kid is still alive. Judging from his appearance, he did not seem to have suffered any injuries. How is this possible? How did they escape? The Tai dynasty's crown prince gritted his teeth. The Tuoba family's holy son also had a cold expression. The 5 Elements Palace, 9 Heavens, Sacred Ground, and 10,000 Thunders, Sacred Ground had also paid a heavy price in order to kill the Bat King. Countless disciples and experts under his command had died. Lin Xian did not pay attention to these people. He looked around and saw Gu Santong, Yi Wudao, Wu Hua, and the others. He immediately smiled. "Everyone, how have you been? Brother Lin, I didn't expect you to be here so early. Yes, there are no treasures here." Yi Wudao and Wu Hua laughed. "There are indeed many treasures. Hurry up and search," Lin Xian said. Yi Wudao, Wu Hua, and the others were also surprised when they heard that there were treasures. They waved their hands and asked their subordinates to hurry up and search. The people of the Tai dynasty and the Five Elements Palace also moved. "I wonder what treasures Brother Lin has found during this period of time." A cold voice was heard. It was the Yin-Yang sect's holy son. He did not expect that the other party would arrive before them. Moreover, they did not know how long the other party had been here. If the other party had taken all the treasures, they would have suffered a great loss. The Yin-Yang saint wanted to check if the other party had snatched any incredible treasures. "Why? Do you want to know what I got?" Lin Xian's lips curled up. "Hand over 10 deity crystals, and I'll tell you." Humph! The Yin-Yang saint's face darkened. Divine gems weren't cheap. 10 divine gems were a huge fortune. How could he give it to anyone just to get some information? Therefore, his expression was unfriendly. "Lin Gongzi, your clothes seem very special. Why haven't I seen you wear them before?" In the Yaoguang Holy Land, the Yaoguang saintess said indifferently. Her words immediately attracted everyone's attention. "That's right, this Taoist robe looks very ancient and doesn't seem to be something from the modern era. This should be an ancient treasure. It couldn't be the treasure that this brat obtained, right?" The saints and saintesses all stared at Lin Xian as they discussed among themselves. However, Lin Xian frowned. This Yaoguang holy daughter seemed to be speaking carelessly, but she was actually trying to sow discord between them. It seemed that she was still holding a grudge about the little white monkey. Indeed, the little white monkey had eaten so many treasures from the other party, but in the end, the other party did not get anything. At that time, the other party had been magnanimous. Now, it seemed that she was indeed holding a grudge. Everyone turned to look at Lin Xian and stared at his Taoist robe. "Humph! What? You want my Taoist robe? Think about it first. Do you have the ability to do so? If anyone wants to accompany the 5 Elements Saint and 10,000 Thunder Saint on their way to the Netherworld, I don't mind sending them on their way." Although Lin Xian did not release any terrifying murderous aura, his words made everyone's expression change, especially the holy sons and holy daughters. They all frowned. The person in front of them was not a kind person, nor was he a weakling. He was a terrifying demon king. He was a powerful being who had killed 3 holy sons. Ordinary people were really no match for him. A bunch of trash. "If you don't dare to fight me, then get lost. Disappear in front of me," Lin Xian shouted coldly. That one sentence was enough to intimidate these people. Come to think of it, these people weren't much. You're courting death. Kid, don't be too arrogant. Do you really think that no one can deal with you? That's right. Even if the 5 Elements Saint and the others are holy sons, they are only average among us. There are many holy sons and holy daughters who are more powerful than them. The Yin-Yang saint's voice was cold. His eyes were filled with killing intent. "Is that so? Then have you surpassed them?" Lin Xian stepped forward. Sword qi erupted from his body, forming a terrifying sword qi storm. "Are you trying to stand up for the 5 Elements Saint and the others? Or are you trying to prove that you are more powerful than them? But no matter which one it is, go ahead. I'll take it. You're courting death." The Yin-Yang saint was enraged. His opponent was so aggressive that his lungs were about to explode. His Yin-Yang sect was an unparalleled sect in middle ground, and he, the Yin-Yang saint, was an outstanding genius. Those princes and princesses had to be extremely respectful when they saw him. But now he was actually being looked down upon. Moreover, it was in front of all the young prodigies in the world. If he backed down now, he would probably lose all his face. He would never be able to raise his head again. Kid, I'll let you know the price of provoking me. The Yin-Yang saint revealed a ferocious expression. Yin and Yang Qi erupted from his eyes and body. A huge hand that covered the sky slammed down. This hand was as black as ink. It was like a demonic mountain that mercilessly pressed down from the sky. With a boom, the entire space exploded. The surrounding light also dimmed. That terrifying power made the cultivators who were looking for treasures in the distance almost kneel on the ground. It was too terrifying. The Yin-Yang saint was indeed very powerful. It seemed that he was more powerful than the five-element saint and Wan Leishengzi. Humph! Lin Xian snorted. If the other party really dared to attack, then don't blame him for being merciless. He used the heavenly dragon's 8 steps and moved in the sky. Every step he took caused the entire space to tremble violently. Countless large black cracks spread out from under his feet in all directions. The sword Qi on his body pierced through everything. It was as if numerous illusory true dragons were rampaging in the sky. It was too terrifying. At this moment, Lin Xian's aura kept rising. It was as if he was a sword god who had descended from the 9 heavens. Everyone could not help but tremble. Even the saints and saintesses furrowed their brows. Many people's expressions changed drastically. Retreat. They quickly retreated and opened up enough space. Indeed, in the next moment, the sword Qi erupted and roared in all directions. It destroyed all the terrifying dark energy in the surroundings. Lin Xian did not attack. Just the sword Qi on his body was enough to blast away the black hand. However, this was the Yin-Yang saint after all. He was very powerful. Although the black hand was shattered, it still pressed down mercilessly. Boom! 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 The space collapsed. A huge black hole appeared and spread out in all directions as if it was going to swallow everything. The huge black hole spread toward Lin Xian. It looked like it was going to swallow him. Chapter 2543. Buzz. As expected, Lin Xian was swallowed by the black hole in the next moment. Countless berserk energies kept surging, wanting to destroy him. What? He was swallowed up. That kid didn't dodge. The surrounding people were shocked. The disciples of the Yin-Yang sect even sneered. What immortal hall! How dare he compete with me, the Yin-Yang saint, with such strength? He's courting death. They thought he was a powerful figure after all the boasting. They didn't expect him to be so weak. This kid would be seriously injured, even if he didn't die. Countless mocking voices were heard. The Yin-Yang saint also sneered. He exerted more force in his palm, and the Yin and Yang Qi in his body exploded. He wanted to take advantage of the situation and kill Lin Xian completely. The violent energy lasted for a long time before it gradually disappeared. The sky was clear again, and the surroundings were bright again. It was as if the dark clouds had left. Everyone turned their gazes forward, but the next moment they were all stunned. What? Impossible! I don't believe it. Everyone was shocked. The eyelids of the saints and saintesses were also twitching. The Yin-Yang saint's expression was even worse. He saw Lin Xian's figure floating in the black hole in front of him. However, Lin Xian's body was unharmed. How could this be? His attack could even seriously injure a powerful figure, let alone Lin Xian. He could understand if Lin Xian had used some kind of treasure or secret technique. After all, they were all saints, who didn't have trump cards. But Lin Xian stood in the void and didn't seem to have used anything. This was unacceptable. Lin Xian didn't have a sacred body. How could he have such a strong physique? Even a sacred body wouldn't be so terrifying. Is this your strength? Just as everyone was stunned, a cold and disdainful voice was heard. Lin Xian stood with his arms crossed as he walked out of the black hole. His black hair fluttered in the wind, and his eyes shone like stars. He walked forward step by step. His ancient Taoist robe fluttered in the wind, making him look like an immortal. What yin-yang saint! You're so powerful. I thought you were an earth-shattering figure. I didn't expect your attack to be so weak. Lin Xian sneered again. Damn it. Kid, don't be so arrogant. The yin-yang saint roared. The members of the yin-yang sect turned pale and trembled. They really couldn't imagine what was going on. Could it be that his physique had surpassed that of a saintly being? No, it was his Taoist robe. Damn it, this is a treasure. In the distance, the first prince of the Tai dynasty screamed. The people of the Tuoba clan and Nangong clan were also shocked. At this moment, everyone stared at the ancient Taoist robe. After the Yaoguang saintess's reminder, they realized that this might be the new treasure that the other party had obtained. However, to their surprise, the power of the treasure far exceeded their expectations. Such a terrifying attack had actually been completely blocked by the defense of the Taoist robe. This was at least a heaven-step treasure. Moreover, it wasn't an ordinary heaven-rank defensive artifact. Damn it, this brat actually had such a treasure. How could his luck be so good? He had to snatch it. Many saints were envious. If they could get their hands on this Taoist robe, their defensive power would not be weaker than a saint physique. To them, this was definitely a huge temptation. The yin-yang saint was also tempted. 2 balls of black and white flames danced in his eyes, exuding a mysterious power. As expected, it was the effect of this Taoist robe. Humph, brat, what are you so arrogant for? You're just borrowing the power of a heaven-step treasure. Without this Taoist robe, you won't even be able to withstand a single blow. However, so what if you have this Taoist robe? Do you think that I can't defeat you? Speaking of this, his eyes shone with a cold light. Such a good thing. You're just a piece of trash. You don't deserve to have it. As he spoke, an unparalleled light exploded from his body. It was like a sun, making it hard for people to open their eyes. The black and white light flashed in the sky, illuminating the entire palace. The space collapsed and shattered. It couldn't withstand this power at all. So powerful! Everyone exclaimed. The saints also looked solemn. It seemed that the yin-yang saint was going to use his true power. The yin-yang sect had the mysterious and terrifying power of yin and yang. They were the 2 most ancient powers in the world. They couldn't be underestimated. The yin-yang saint's power was probably beyond their imagination. Sounds of discussion could be heard. These people looked solemn. Even the eyes of Yi Wu Dao, the Alcade saint, Wu Hua, the twin kings of Middle Ground, and the others lit up. Indeed, the power of yin and yang was mysterious and unfathomable. The yin-yang saint strode forward. The entire sky was shaking. Everyone felt suffocated, as if 100,000 mountains were pressing down on them. Buzz! Yin and yang qi exploded, turning into a yin-yang image. It circled in the sky, trying to suppress everything. It was obvious that the yin-yang saint was really angry. Boom! Boom! Everywhere it passed, the space shattered. It couldn't withstand it at all. Lin Xian also felt a great pressure. He channeled his power into his Taoist robe. Suddenly, flames danced on the ancient Taoist robe, resisting the bone pressure. The power of a mid-grade heaven-step treasure wasn't a joke. After doing all this, Lin Xian looked up at the sky. The yin-yang sect? Just nice. Today, I'll experience the power of yin and yang and see if it's as the legends say. Lin Xian's sword qi became more and more terrifying. As the sword streaked across the sky, heaven and earth lost their color. The sun and moon dimmed, accompanied by the roar of a dragon. It was too terrifying. At this moment, the saints felt as if the qi and blood in their bodies had condensed. It was as if their bodies had been split in half. They had never felt this before. Many people retreated frantically. Clang! Boom! An earth-shattering sound rang out. The yin-yang image in the sky vibrated violently. A huge sword radiance slashed on it. The two collided. Heaven and earth cracked. Countless cracks appeared on the yin-yang image. With the sword radiance as the center, the cracks spread in all directions. It was about to cover the entire yin-yang image. Damn it! Suppress it! The yin-yang saint's pupils constricted. He didn't expect his opponent's sword to be so powerful. The sword was about to shatter his yin-yang image. Roar! With a roar, the power of yin and yang in his body circulated rapidly. As the yin-yang image rotated, two streams of qi drooped down. They were like two black and white dragons, causing the entire space to tremble. This was an earth-shattering battle. Both of them were outstanding prodigies. Now that they attacked, they both used terrifying mystical powers. It was truly a battle between a dragon and a tiger. It was too terrifying. The yin-yang saint lived up to his reputation. That brat was even more terrifying. He actually blocked the yin-yang image. Legend had it that the yin-yang image came from heaven and earth and contained unparalleled power. But at this moment, it couldn't suppress its opponent. The saints and saintesses discussed quickly. Yi Wu Dao, the Alcade saint, and the others watched with rapt attention. Boom! Streams of sword qi swept across. Suddenly, an even more dazzling sword radiance lit up in the sky. It was like a peerless immortal light. Boom! Crack! Finally, the yin-yang image couldn't take it anymore and shattered. It was split in half by the sword. The yin-yang saint was sent flying. There was a trace of blood at the corner of his mouth. He was injured. The yin-yang saint had actually lost in this competition. All the prodigies exclaimed in disbelief. The yin-yang sect members screamed crazily, "Saint!" Chapter 2544. Damn it! Damn it! The yin-yang saint roared in anger. He did not expect that the other party could really injure him. This was a great humiliation. He snorted and wanted to use his trump card to fight the other party. However, at this moment, several other figures walked up to him. "Wait, brother yin-yang." A sneer was heard. Hearing this, everyone turned to look. Even the yin-yang saint frowned. A man in a dragon robe walked over from behind. It was the first prince of the Tai dynasty. Seeing this scene, the surrounding people were extremely puzzled. What was the other party doing here at this time? But they also knew that he seemed to have a grudge against Lin Xian. Could it be that he wanted to join forces with the yin-yang saint to attack him? What do you want? The yin-yang saint asked coldly. The first prince smiled. "Brother yin-yang, why do you have to fight? There are many ways to get the robe." As he spoke, he sent a message to the yin-yang saint. "We've already joined forces with the Twin Kings, 5 Elements Palace, 9 Heavens Sacred Ground, 10,000 Thunders Sacred Ground, and the Tuoba family. We're going to attack together with the Nangong family to kill this guy. We're holding him back. When he lets down his guard, we'll kill him." Hearing this, the yin-yang saint was stunned. Then his eyes shone with a terrifying light. He did not expect so many people to want to kill him. It seemed that he had really angered everyone. But this was good too. The yin-yang saint suppressed his excitement and did not attack again. At this moment, the first prince of the Tai dynasty smiled and said, "Brother Lin, we really like the robe you're wearing. Why don't you name a price? How about 1 divine crystal?" Hearing this, everyone exclaimed, "What a joke! How could 1 divine crystal buy such an ancient robe?" The first prince of the Tai dynasty clearly did not want to buy it. It seemed that he was here to mess things up. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes as his lips curled into a cold smile. This first prince really did not know what was good for him. He did not have a chance to teach him a lesson. Who knew that he would take the initiative to do so? Did he really think that Yi Fuqian did not know what he was planning? Yi Fuqian had heard everything when the first prince transmitted the yin-yang saint. This was because his soul power far surpassed these people, even surpassing them by an entire level. Therefore, Lin Xian was well aware that these people were planning to kill him. This first prince was truly courting death. It seemed like there was a need to kill him. Lin Xian looked ahead, his heart filled with killing intent. At this moment, the Yin-Yang saint laughed coldly. "I'll give you 2 divine gems. Brother Lin, can you sell it to me?" The two of them were extremely arrogant, as if they did not put Lin Xian in their eyes at all. The other holy sons and holy daughters frowned. They didn't know what the two of them were up to. I took out 3 crystals. At this moment, the Central State twin kings stepped forward and strode forward. At the same time, he named a price. I took out 4 of them. "I have 5. The Tuoba family, Nangong family, Myriad Lightning, Sacred Ground, 5 Element Palace, and 9 Firmament Divine Emperors." People stepped forward. "Place your bid." It seemed like he really wanted to fight for this ancient Taoist robe. However, the price made people's mouths twitch. Not to mention 10, even 50 or 100 gems. They couldn't buy it. These people were clearly provoking the other party by offering such a low price. Oh no, what were these people trying to do? Brother Lin seemed to be in danger. In the distance, Wu Hua also frowned when he saw the scene. This was because he realized that the people who had gone forward to report the price had unknowingly surrounded Lin Xian. "Brother Lin, look at how many of us are bidding. Why don't you give us a response? Who do you intend to sell this ancient Taoist robe to?" As soon as he said that, the surrounding experts who had made a bid attacked together. Their attacks were very sudden, and they were determined to kill. All kinds of great mystiques and killing moves instantly attacked Lin Xian. The sky was covered, and the void in front of him was instantly blasted apart. Boom! 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 The violent energy made people tremble, and many people fell to the ground. Not good. Yi Wu Dao Wu Hua, and the others cried out in alarm. In the distance, Murong Qingcheng, Shen Jingqiu, and the others cried out in alarm. The martial artists of Immortal Palace were shouting crazily, "Palace Master!" They didn't expect these people to be so despicable. So many of them attacked together, and it was a sneak attack. It's over. That kid is dead for sure. With so many saints attacking, even a peerless almighty would be blasted to pieces. That was for sure. Let him be arrogant again. This time let's see how he dies. In the distance, the Crimson Dragon, Xing Tian, Murong Qingcheng, Shen Jingqiu, and the others quickly flew over. Wu Hua and Yi Wu Dao also wanted to attack, but the twin kings, the first prince, the Yin-Yang saint, and the others sneered. They joined hands and confronted each other. "Damn it, get out of the way. How dare you attack Brother Xian?" The Crimson Dragon, Murong Qingcheng, and the others roared angrily. Their bodies were filled with biting, cold-killing intent. "Humph, you want to save him? Dream on. Today is the day this kid dies." The Yin-Yang saint sneered, and the first prince's expression was even more ferocious. He dared to go against the Tai dynasty. It's already a miracle that he's still alive. Do you think he can still live? How dare he kill my saint? He deserves to die. That's right. It's too easy to kill him. The 5 Elements Palace, the 1,000 Thunders Sacred Ground, and the 9 Firmaments Saint Emperor's people also sneered. They had finally avenged their saint. However, amidst the laughter, there was a cold voice. "So many people attacking together. You are indeed despicable and shameless. But do you think you can hurt me like this? What a joke! Ignorant." This voice floated clearly into everyone's ears. What? The eyelids of those who attacked were twitching wildly. The surrounding people were also stunned. They all turned their heads to look. A figure appeared in the void in the distance. Was it Lin Xian? His ancient robe fluttered in the wind. He didn't look injured at all. He wasn't injured. That was impossible. The twin kings of the middle ground were shocked. The Yin-Yang saint, the first prince, and the first prince were also crazed. No, even if it was a heaven-grade treasure robe, it couldn't withstand the joint attack of so many people. Indeed, they were crazy. How could Lin Xian resist them? They didn't know that the moment they attacked, Lin Xian had already used the teleportation black jade platform to break through the void and teleport out. He didn't receive any energy attacks at all. Humph, you're courting death. How dare you attack me together? Get ready. Kneel down and accept your death. Lin Xian's eyes were filled with cold, murderous intent. He wouldn't spare any of them. Whoosh! Lin Xian's body swayed as he charged forward. His target was the first prince of the Tai dynasty. The surrounding people were shocked. They didn't expect Lin Xian to be so powerful. As soon as he was out of danger, he launched a strong counterattack. The chosen jumped in fright, and the first prince's pupils constricted. But soon he revealed a sinister smile. Bang! An earth-shattering sound was heard. Then Lin Xian was sent flying. He spat out a mouthful of blood in the air and stabilized himself. The ancient robe on his body burned fiercely and neutralized most of the power. What happened? That brat was sent flying, and he was injured. Heavens, I'm not dreaming, am I? When did the first prince become so powerful? His strength has surpassed that of a saint. Exclamations of surprise were heard. The crimson dragon, Murong Qingqing, and the others were nervous again. Originally, they were relieved that Lin Xian had escaped. But now they were nervous again. Damn it, who is he? How can the first prince be so powerful? Could it be that he swallowed some kind of pill? Yi, Wu Dao, Wu Hua, and the Alcade Saint were also focused. They didn't understand what had happened, but in the next moment they were stunned, because they saw a person. Chapter 2545. It was an old man with a head full of white hair and an aged face. It was a royal elder. Everyone exclaimed as their eyelids twitched. So that was the case. It turned out that it was not the crown prince of the Tai dynasty who was able to force the other party to retreat with a single palm strike. It was the royal elder who did it. The royal elder's aura was too terrifying. His eyes were like divine lamps that illuminated the surroundings. Obviously, he was a peerless almighty whose cultivation had reached the late-stage 8-star king realm. All the saints looked solemn. Such a peerless elite was a great threat to their lives. However, the first prince, the Yin-Yang saint, the twin kings, and the others sneered. This time he's dead for sure. Damn it! The dark, red, divine dragon roared. Murong Qingqing and the others roared. Xing Tian even roared. They wanted to attack, but the twin kings and the others stopped them. You want to save me? Dream on. I'm going to die today. No one can save me. Cold laughter could be heard. Xing Tian roared angrily and was about to attack. However, at that moment, loud laughter could be heard from afar. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. Everyone was stunned when they heard that voice. Xing Tian did not attack. Both sides faced each other. For a moment, countless people looked into the distance. They realized that the person who laughed was Lin Xian. Lin Xian stopped, wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, and stood up. A late-stage 8-star king. Lin Xian said coldly, I've underestimated your shamelessness. You sent a late-stage 8-star king to kill me. Kid, no matter what you say, you're going to die today. The royal elder's voice was cold. You've done me a great favor by asking me to kill you. If you have any last words, leave them. Otherwise, you won't have a chance. You're just a late-stage 8-star king. You want to kill me? You're too naive. Lin Xian stopped smiling, and a cold light flashed in his eyes. A terrifying aura rose from his body. No way. This kid wants to fight a late-stage 8-star king? What a joke. Although he was powerful, the difference between them was too great. This kid seemed to have an incredible trump card. That's right. Didn't he say that he had something belonging to a saint? Voices of discussion could be heard, and the royal elder at the front sneered. Brat, so what if you have a trump card? Do you think that as members of the royal family we don't? He shouted coldly, and a heaven-grade saber instantly appeared on his body, emitting an incomparably terrifying aura. Heaven rank wrap blade. It seemed that the Tai dynasty was well prepared. That's right, the imperial family's elders should have many other trump cards. However, a late-stage 8-star expert could easily kill his opponent with a heaven-grade saber. He didn't even need to use his other trump cards. The imperial family elder held the treasured saber in his hand and revealed a ferocious smile as he walked forward step by step. For me to kill you is no different from crushing an ant. Now kneel down and kowtow to my Tai dynasty and I can give you a quick death. You want me to kowtow and admit my mistake? Dream on. Old man, you will soon regret this. Lin Xian sneered as killing intent surfaced in his eyes. Acting recklessly, in front of absolute power, you can't resist at all. The imperial family elder was unmoved. So what if his opponent had a treasure? He was not strong enough to unleash the power of the treasure, and he was a late-stage 8-star expert. His strength was unimaginably terrifying. He slashed out with his saber, and an incomparably terrifying power pierced through heaven and earth, completely enveloping Lin Xian. Damn it! Stop it! Xing Tian, the Crimson Dragon, Murong Qingqing, and Shen Jingqiu attacked crazily at this moment. However, the twin kings of Zhongzhou were not to be trifled with. With so many saints joining forces, they blocked the attacks of Xing Tian and the others for a while. Boom! 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 Then a scream was heard. A figure was sent flying, crashing through the void. What? The people who were watching the battle from afar were stunned. That was because they realized that the person who flew backward was not Lin Xian, but the imperial family elder. How was that possible? How could the imperial family elder fly backward? He was a late-stage 8-star expert, and no one could defeat him. Everyone was stunned. Even the Yin-Yang Saint, the Twin Kings, and the Crown Prince did not attack. They retreated frantically and turned their heads to look behind them. The imperial dynasty's martial artists screamed even louder. Xing Tian and the others breathed a sigh of relief. Although they did not know what had happened, it seemed that Lin Xian should be fine. Brother Xian! Brother Lin Xian! Murong Qingqing! Shen Jingqiu also called out softly. In front of them, the light that filled the sky disappeared. Lin Xian stood in the void unharmed. In front of him stood a blood-red figure, exuding a terrifying aura. What is that? Everyone looked over and their scalps went numb. Bat King! Damn it, it was Bat King. Everyone went crazy. They quickly retreated, their faces full of horror. Even Yi Wudao, the Alcade Saint Wu Hua, and the others looked as if they were facing a formidable enemy. There was nothing they could do. Bat King had left a deep impression on them. Thinking back, how much effort had they expended and how many trump cards had they used before they were able to kill him? But they did not expect him to appear again. For a moment, everyone was in danger. However, Murong Qingqing and the others breathed a sigh of relief, because they knew what was going on. But the others screamed, "That's not right. Why is Bat King standing there and not attacking the kid?" Damn it. Why does it look like he's protecting the kid? As soon as this voice came out, everyone's eyeballs popped out. How was that possible? Bat King was such a terrifying guardian of the ancient tomb. He did not even care about the people of Demon Imperial Palace and killed them mercilessly. How could he protect a human kid? Everyone could not believe it. In the distance, the people of Demon Imperial Palace were also stunned when they saw this scene. Impossible. How did this kid do it? The powerhouses of Demon Imperial Palace were shocked. Hua Tiandu's face was gloomy. Yen Ruyu, however, narrowed her eyes. Just now, even she wanted to lend a hand and help. She did not expect the other party to turn the tables so quickly, but soon Yenryu's lips curled into a smile. Ah! An angry roar was heard. The endless void shattered, and an old figure quickly charged over. He carried a murderous aura with him, like a peerless demon. That damn kid! That figure was naturally the first elder of the imperial family. He was sent flying by a huge force just now. He was injured and spat out blood. But what shocked him even more was his spirit. He was about to go crazy. How could the other party send him flying? Could it be that the other party had some shocking trump card? Or was there a hidden, peerless expert on Immortal Palace's side? When he flew nearby, he was stunned. He realized that his guess was right. It was indeed not Lin Xian who did it, but it was not an expert from Immortal Palace either. It was Bat King. Bat King. The first elder of the imperial family trembled, and fear appeared in his eyes. Not long ago they were chased by Bat King, and it took them a lot of effort to kill him. Now, another one had appeared. Chapter 2546. Why would the Bat King appear here? Why didn't it attack him? Why did it only attack him? The royal elder could not figure it out. No one could understand. For a moment, countless eyes looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian's voice was cold. Go and kill him. Whoosh! Bat King's body swayed and turned into a red flash of light, rushing forward. What? This guy can control the Bat King. Seeing this scene, everyone went crazy, especially those from the Tai dynasty. They were so scared that their scalps went numb. Impossible. How did he do it? Wasn't the Bat King the guardian of the ancient tomb? This was something that was personally refined by a saint. How could it control it? Exclamations and discussions sounded. Whether it was the Yi family, the Gu family, or the Demon King Palace, they were all stunned. Damn it, Dai! The Tai dynasty's elder roared and slashed forward with a huge saber light. The Bat King did not dodge at all and faced the attack head-on. His body flickered with a blood-red light, and he did not suffer any impact. Roar! The Bat King did not waste any time and directly used the deprive ability to forcefully seize it. Oh no! The elder's blood! The royal elder screamed. He felt the blood in his body churning and wanting to leave his body. This scene scared him out of his wits. Suppress it! He roared crazily, and his dragon path aura surged, trying to suppress it forcefully. However, other than Lin Xian's dragon sword soul, who could easily destroy it, the others could not do so easily. Even with the dragon path aura, it was difficult to resist for a while. Streams of blood stained his skin and rushed into the sky. No! The royal elder screamed. He detonated the dragon path aura on his body and exploded in the sky, forming countless terrifying black holes. Only then did he cut off the mysterious connection. The royal elder's face turned pale. In just an instant, 1/3 of his blood had been taken away. This mystique was simply too terrifying. Damn it! How could this be? How could he control the rotary Bat King? The royal elder's face was ferocious. The others felt their scalps go numb, and they all retreated. The Yin-Yang Saint, the twin kings of Zhongzhou, and the crown prince's faces twitched. They were terrified. If the Bat King targeted them, it would be difficult for them to escape. But the only thing that made them feel at ease was Bat King. If there were a few more, they wouldn't be able to escape. Whoa! The royal elder gritted his teeth and took out a large bronze bell from the void. There were dragons crawling all over it. This was one of his secret treasures, called the Wandering Dragon Bell. It was extremely terrifying. At this moment, he was going to use it to fight against the Bloodwing Bat King. No one made a move. He didn't ask anyone to help because Bat King was too scary. Die for me! After the imperial family elder swallowed the recovery pill, he once again erupted with power. He controlled the Wandering Dragon Bell and charged forward. There was a dragon bell that released 10,000 streaks of light, continuously becoming larger. It was like a great mountain as it rampaged through the sky, smashing through the void. It fiercely pressed forward. Whoa! The Bat King roared. His body swayed, and he disappeared in the air. When he reappeared, he was already next to the first prince. The first prince was so scared that his scalp went numb. Elder, save me. As he screamed, he retreated. Brother Yin, Brother Gemini, save me. He looked to both sides for help. However, the Yin saint, the twin kings of Zhongzhou, and the others instantly left, ignoring him. What a joke! They didn't dare to fight against the Bloodwing Bat King. Damn it, a bunch of bastards. The first prince screamed crazily. He didn't expect that the team that had originally teamed up would scatter at this moment. No one helped him. This made him feel a sense of despair. The first prince. Behind him, the people of the Tai dynasty screamed crazily. The royal elder exclaimed in shock. Damn it! He controlled the wandering dragon bell to change direction and fly down to rescue the first prince. However, it was too late. The Bat King opened its bloody mouth and swallowed the first prince in an instant. In the sky, the blood-red mouth made cracking noises. When it opened again, only a human skin was left. What? The first prince was killed. Everyone cried out in alarm. Their eyes were wide open and filled with fear. The Bat King was too terrifying. Everyone retreated crazily. Even Yi Wu Dao Wu Hua and the others retreated with their people. Damn it! Go to hell! The royal elder went crazy. The first prince was killed. How was he going to explain it to the empress when he returned? He couldn't explain it at all. He could only kill the monster in front of him. Clang! The Bat King didn't dodge at all. Its body was comparable to a heaven-grade treasure, so it slapped out with its palm. With a boom, it collided with the wandering dragon bell. The two collided with an earth-shattering sound. The wandering dragon bell was sent flying. The royal elder also screamed and spat out blood as he retreated. Damn it! The royal elder roared crazily. He turned around and charged at Lin Xian. Since he couldn't kill the Bat Kings, he had to kill the kid. He would use the kid's head to avenge the first prince. He launched a crazy attack. The terrifying energy could even kill a holy sun. However, Lin Xian didn't resist at all. The demigods and semi-devils flashed in the sky at an extremely fast speed. Lin Xian's speed wasn't slower than the royal elder's. Therefore, the royal elder couldn't catch him at all. Ah, I'm so angry. Damn kid, don't run if you have the guts. The royal elder was about to vomit blood. He didn't expect the other party to be so fast. Behind him, the people from the Tai dynasty had red eyes. They roared angrily, "Kill them!" These martial artists charged out crazily, but in the next moment they screamed in pain. The Bat King roared and rushed into the middle of these martial artists, killing them in all directions. It was too terrifying. No one could stop it. Blood mist burst out, and human skins fell to the ground. In an instant, more than a dozen martial artists from the Tai dynasty were killed. No, this scene made the royal elder scream. Many of their elders were outside fighting against the Big Dipper coffin. Most of the people here were young disciples. He was secretly following them. Other than him, there were only 2 other elders in the group. However, he couldn't fight against it at all, so there weren't that many people. Thinking of this, he screamed and charged back again. He swore that he would kill the Bat King. Otherwise, the people from the Tai dynasty would probably be killed by the Bat King. Damn it! Everyone attacked together. The Yin saint roared. He pulled out a Yin blade and roared crazily. Sure enough, the others also responded. Among them, the people from the 5 Elements Palace, the 10,000 Thunder Holy Land, and the 9 Firmaments Divine Emperor stood out without hesitation. The people from the Nangong family and the Tuoba family also had sinister smiles on their faces. The twin kings of the central state stared at Lin Xian like lightning. Humph! Lin Xian snorted coldly. Xing Tian, the Crimson Dragon, and Morong Qingqing also stepped out with cold expressions. Extremely terrifying auras surged from their bodies. You want to start a war? Come, come, come. Grandpa Dragon will teach you how to behave. The Crimson Dragon roared angrily. Countless immortal palaces flew over from the distance. In addition, people from the Purple Afterglow Holy Land and the Jade Lake Holy Land also flew over. They stared ahead angrily. Previously, when they cooperated with Immortal Palace's Lin Xian and the others, they were very happy and obtained many treasures. Now that someone was finding trouble with Immortal Palace, they naturally had to help. Chapter 2547. On the other side, Yi Wudao, Gu Santong, and Wu Hua also walked up. Their eyes shone with cold light. There were conflicts and alliances between the sacred grounds. At this moment, they chose to stand with Lin Xian. This scene made the Zhongzhou twin kings and the others change their expressions. The Yin-Yang saint also looked gloomy and gritted his teeth. Damn it. Why are the clan of the ancients helping him? Damn it. Damn it. While they were in a stalemate, on the other side, the royal elder was screaming in pain. He was being mercilessly chased by the Bat King and was in a miserable state. Although he was a late-stage 8-star expert and had a heaven-grade treasure, powerful armor, and royal superpowers, the Bat King was even more terrifying. It was a mutated species and was very powerful. Now that it had been refined by the ancient saint of the demon clan, its body was engraved with Tao patterns. It also had the superpowers to steal blood. These superpowers were impossible to defend against. The royal elder was at a disadvantage again. Moreover, his attacks could not hurt the Bat King at all. Even if he was hurt, the Tao patterns in his body could be revived. Last time, the Tai dynasty had gathered a lot of forces to kill the blood-robed Bat King. Now that he was alone, it was already a great fortune for him to be able to resist and not be killed. However, this could not go on. His aura was getting weaker and weaker. He wanted to escape and ask his royal family companions for help. Seeing this, the Tai royal family's faces turned ugly. Damn it. Go and help. This was their royal elder. They could not allow any accidents to happen. Buzz. 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 The Tai dynasty's martial artists could not wait any longer. Hearing CIG's order, they flew out like crazy. But soon they screamed in pain. They were no match for the Bat King. Screams rang out one after another as blood, mist exploded. In front of the Bat King, they could not fight back at all. Not to mention the royal elder who was helping them. Damn it. Run. The royal elder's eyes were red. Other than him, no one else could fight back. So for a moment, the royal family martial artists did not dare to go forward. They retreated in fear. Damn it. The Yin-Yang saint roared. Everyone, let's kill Bat King together. Otherwise, we will all be in danger. Hearing this, the twin kings of the Central Plains and the people of the Tuoba family nodded in agreement. Indeed, as long as Bat King was not eliminated, it would be difficult to ensure their safety. If Lin Xian used the Bat King to deal with them, it would be difficult for them to resist. So now, although they were still safe and sound, they were still determined to get rid of this terrifying Bat King. Boom! In the next moment, these chosens all moved out and charged forward. If you want to fight, I'll play with you. Lin Xian let out a long roar. The dragon's sword domain flew out, and countless sword lights flew in all directions. On the other side, Morong Qingqing, Xin Jingqiu, Xing Tian, and Hong attacked together. The terrifying light exploded in all directions, and the Crimson Dragon opened its mouth to spit out array after array. It enveloped a part of the world. In addition, Gu Santong, Yi Wudao, Wu Hua, and the others also made their moves. Damn it! The Yin-Yang saint and the others roared in anger. They were about to go crazy. Yi Wudao, Wu Hua, Shen Jingqiu, and Morong Qingqing were all peerless geniuses, and they all had terrifying trump cards. Their strength was not any weaker than theirs. In an instant, they were greatly hindered. "Damn brat, get out of my way!" The yin-yang saint roared in anger. He struck out with his palms and charged forward. However, all his attacks were split apart by Lin Xian's sword. Lin Xian sneered. "What? You can't withstand such a small attack? Humph! Your nightmare is yet to come." Lin Xian sneered, and a piercing light shot out from his eyes. He quickly charged forward and killed the yin-yang saint with one strike. Although the yin-yang saint was powerful, he was not Lin Xian's match. Therefore, he spat out a mouthful of blood, and a crack appeared on his armor. "Ah!" The yin-yang saint roared in anger. He pulled out his yin-yang saber and waved it rapidly. A huge black and white saber radiance swept across the sky, slashing toward Lin Xian's dragon abyss ancient sword. The two collided with a loud clang. Boom! Violent energy blasted in all directions, causing everyone to tremble. With a clang, the yin-yang saber radiance was shattered. However, the dragon rock ancient sword was also blocked in midair. Light appeared on the yin-yang saint's body, enveloping his body. Yin and yang aura roared, and he swallowed all sorts of treasures. Finally, he suppressed his injuries. "Damn brat!" The yin-yang saint's face was cold. His eyes were filled with murderous intent. Because his opponent was too terrifying, he had injured him with one strike. How could this be? He could not believe it. He was very powerful, and he was very confident in the power of yin and yang. In his opinion, if he pulled out his yin-yang saber, he would definitely be able to kill his opponent. But he did not expect it to be blocked. "Brat, I won't let you off." The yin-yang saint sneered in front. He held his yin-yang saber, and the yin and yang qi on his body circulated rapidly. At this moment, he was filled with murderous intent. He could not defeat his opponent previously because he did not use his trump card. Now that he had used his trump card, he did not believe that he could not kill his opponent. Yin-yang slash yin-yang split. A huge saber radiance swept across the sky. The yin and yang qi swirled, forming a terrifying force. At this moment, everyone around was trembling. Their faces were filled with fear. They felt as if their bodies were being stripped away. There seemed to be a force of life and a force of death in their bodies. This scene was too terrifying. Many people vomited blood and were sent flying. The people from Immortal Palace were also affected. "Go to hell, brat." The yin-yang saint sneered. His yin-yang saber directly enveloped Lin Xian. Lin Xian's pupils constricted. He also felt the scene. It was as if the two forces were trying to pull him into heaven and hell. "Brat, be careful. The power of yin and yang is very strange." The Crimson Dragon warned him from outside, but he did not dare to get close. Lin Xian's expression was also solemn. The yin-yang sect was indeed a great sect that had been passed down since ancient times. The power of yin and yang was indeed terrifying and could not be underestimated. However, although the power of yin and yang was powerful, the yin-yang saint was not very powerful. The other party was indeed a peerless genius and a powerful saint, but that was only in the eyes of ordinary geniuses. In Lin Xian's eyes, the other party's strength was not enough. The power of yin and yang? It was indeed powerful. It had reached the peak of perfection. But it's a pity that trash like you can't fully display the power of yin and yang. So you can't do anything to me. A cold voice rang out from the terrifying light. Everyone's expression changed. The yin-yang saint's eyes turned red instantly. You're tuning in to the Thunder Spear YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.